What's going on, folks? Just doing a painting here. Couldn't sleep tonight, you know? Maybe you can sleep either, so you're joining. Just getting in these wave details here. Just filling in these waves. You know what I said? You know what? I'm just gonna do it. I want to kind of make these crisscrossing types of effect, but I can't let my other brushes dry out. So let's get these waves in here. Waves in here, come in here, work with this. As you go further back, right, you want less contrast, right? Show the depth. Trick is just to be fluid, right? Just to let it come out. You can't control the painting. Just like you can't control people's lives. You can't control what they believe. You gotta let people be themselves. And let the art that is them shine through, you know? A lot of times I find that we have expectations. And also, you'll never, get to see what that person truly had to offer. So we're just getting bigger, more contrast as we come forward. I know that this camera sucks. I could be doing this off my phone. But, tonight's not a night where I got all picky and just want to go live. Had a couple comments saying that they really liked the painting show that I did, so they want me to do kind of like painting episodes. What do you guys think about that? I could do tutorials and stuff like that. I could do live auctions, you know what I mean? Paint live and then to whoever who wants it at the end, sell it. I don't know. Just throw me some ideas, throw them in the comments. Give me some ideas of what I could do. What would be cool. So we just want to kind of make some shadows underneath. And this isn't like a tutorial. I know that my followers, my subscribers, I know that they're not artists, all of them. So this isn't like a tutorial or anything like that. So I don't really want to mess anything up, you know what I mean? I think sometimes we try to go too much, you know what I mean? As artists, it's like you gotta know when to hold them, you gotta know when to fold them. It's that famous line. I'm just adding little highlights. And again, this isn't a tutorial. Just speaking my mind with you guys. I shouldn't really be talking while I paint, you know what I mean? But I'm confident enough in the subject matter where I don't have to really be really that present. I kind of just, I know, I've watched water enough, you know what I mean, to know how it behaves and what it does when the wave comes in and then another wave comes in after that and how they crisscross and foam up. Get the foam all over here, going out to the water. And just kind of just let it go. Let it go out to the sea. You want I'm using like a brush like this. It's like a fan brush and just moving it along. Getting swept away. And that's something about that I always felt that I always had like kind of like an advantage in when it comes to the flat earth debates that, I used to have with many people is that I'm really observing like a reality. Like people go to the beach and have fun at the beach. So do I, but I can't help but notice it. It's like, when I'm not gonna say like a genius, you know what I mean? But like people with like, savant syndrome that like remember every detail, and autistic people that remember so much detail, and you're thinking, how would you remember that? You know what I mean? It's kind of the same way where it's like, yeah, I went to the beach with you guys and we had a good time, but did you guys notice quite as much? Did you guys notice the scale like patterns that waves come in? So it's got some turbulence happening. Just a little bit more oxygen at the edge here, more bubbles. And the further it gets back, the less distinct it becomes. The further it goes, the more you don't know what's happening and can't really make out. And this is just like, miles away. You know what I mean? Imagine being so high up from the Earth that you're looking down onto the Earth. I don't know how those NASA people think that we would be able to see anything clearly on the ground. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, in low Earth orbit you can. But do you really think that if I can't see a couple miles out this way, that you're gonna go outside the atmosphere, the very atmosphere that blinds my vision? You think that you're gonna be able to go outside of that and then and see continents apart from the water? No, it's gonna look like what it said, a blue marble. It's gonna look hazy. It's gonna look like you don't know where's where, you don't know what continent's what. And that's where they really screwed up, in my opinion, on the globe, is they tried to show too much detail. And that's what I call is showing off as an artist. You know what I mean? You're kind of showing off that. Like, you're not supposed to see that, but you put it in there anyways just for you. You know what I mean? You kind of got off on your own art, and you were like, you know what? Oh yeah, yeah. Look how good my detail work is. Look how look how I can resemble a continent from far away. You know what I mean? And you just outed yourself because I shouldn't be able to see that continent. I can't even see this mountain across the friggin' way. Sometimes I look outside, I can barely see across my street. It's that foggy. Oh, but you tell me that everywhere on the globe, I can see perfectly where Africa ends and the Atlantic Ocean begins. And you want me to believe that I can see grass separate from the earth, from the rock? Get out of here. Unrealistic. They should have hired me. But you know what I would have done? I just would have done a worse job. Maybe that's what was happening, right? Maybe these artists, maybe they wanted to let us know that, hey, yo, there's some fuckery going on with our Earth. You know what I mean? It's flat, and they're trying to tell us it's a globe. Maybe I would put some hidden messages in there. You know what I mean? Let people find it so that they can break the code and my hands could be clean, you know? But if it was me, I just wouldn't even accept the job. But if they made me accept the job, then yeah, you damn right I'm sabotaging that job. Okay. So, as you can tell, I'm not really checking the chat at all because, well, I mean, I will actually check the chat, I guess. Just give me a moment here. Give me a moment here. Just loaded up my brush. While most people sleep, I'm awake. You know what I mean? I got vegan energy, plant-based energy. I don't do manual labor anymore, so I'm not killing myself every day at work. So I got the kind of luxury to kind of do my daddy thing, put myself out there on the internet and hope people bite for some art. There's some snow in the wintertime. And then come paint. It's something that just kind of relaxes me, but I mean, it also stresses me out sometimes, you know what I mean? When I'm afraid I can't achieve what I've set out to achieve and someone's already paid me money for it. Yeah, so what I'm thinking here is this top part right here, I'm going to rework. I'm just going to add in another layer of this water here. And just below it, I'm just going to keep on adding my waves here. But I don't like the way that the top is looking. Yeah, let me get to the chat. I said I would. And this is just, a really laid back night. I'm not expecting anybody to be watching this or anything like that. But I think I got some viewers, so. And this is just gotta show some love. Mind's Eye, hey, thank you. Thank you very much, Mind's Eye. I really appreciate that. Peace and love. Wow, the chat's kind of popping off. Miss L, the horizon looks flat. Yeah, does it look a little too flat here? Maybe I should bring the middle up a little bit. Good one. Yeah, yeah, Jay Indy, man, I like to stay up late, dude. That's when I get all my stuff done. Yeah, let's get it in. I mean, like when all the distractions of the world, all the honking, and all of the, the businesses and the power lines and all of that stuff, it builds up. It gets loud, and at nighttime, all of that just quiets right down, and I can really connect to that astral world where I feed my creativity off of. You know what I mean? I just had a sativa joint and get that creative, loose, fun feeling in me. And now that I got that, I can go. You know what I mean? Everybody's sleeping. Nobody's bothering me. Nobody's calling me. The Google Hangouts aren't going off like berserk. I'm going to get right back to the chat. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Because the chat's popping off. Very nice. Very nice. The mirage. Yeah, I got the squigglies happening. I like how you guys can see that. Mind's Eye, once again, thank you so much. FF, much love, peace, everybody. Each one teach one. Yeah, man, I've been a night owl all my life, playing video games, staying up, playing some Killer Instinct, playing some Mario, just trying to beat the bosses and whatever, you know what I mean, with my brother. Me and him just going ham on the video games. Okay, so what I think I want to do is I want to add some dark spots, right? Like, I mean, I got the peaks of the waves, and we got the sun coming up in the middle here. The sun is going to be right above, right where this light is actually. So everything on this side of the sun is going to have the light hitting it here, and everything on this side of the sun is going to have the light hitting it there. That's why the palm tree. That's why the shadow goes that way. Yeah. And you always want to darken the color with the opposite color, right? Like orange and blue oppose each other on the color wheel. It's orange and blue, yellow and purple, and green and red, right? Green and red for Christmas time. And so if I'm doing the orange and sandy beach, then I'm going to go to the opposite color, the blue, and I'm going to make the shadows out of the blue. That way it really stands out and pops out. You have that nice contrast. You don't just want to add more brown and a black to a shadow. You never want to add black to a shadow, period. All right? Okay, let's see here. So yeah, once again, thanks guys for joining me, man. I'm up at night thinking about this flat plane we live on, and just get inspired to paint it. I want to paint the flat Earth. I want to paint a picture that kind of describes how I feel about where things should be. I want to do it on a nice big canvas and really get the Earth's sphere in here, the dome here with the plane, and have like maybe possibly other domes in the background, going maybe all the way infinitely up. Like kind of have it like trippy and serene, where it's like so far back, there's no horizon because it just is everything. You know what I mean? And just eggs or just bubbles, cosmic bubbles. That's what I call them, cosmic bubbles, because I know that Martin Kinney refers to it as the cosmic egg, but I akin it to a bubble. Just simply how, like, with the bubble, you see the swirling of like the soapy matter going around the outside of the firmament, kind of swirling and making those rainbows. And also because I just when two bubbles stick together, it creates like a flat plane in between it. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Two bubbles connected. So this is what I kind of share the screen. This is what I kind of see when I think about the flat Earth. I mean, obviously, I think about it with the vortex in it as well. But this is it to me. I'm going to be going in, and I want to do my own like kind of series about how this is our plane of existence, and it's still electromagnetic, but just the kind of like, it's not an egg. You know what I mean? It's more of like a figure eight. It's infinity. As above, so below, and maybe there's more complex worlds out there. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's just what I'm kind of into. The thought maybe the dome we live in is smaller than the underworld. You know what I mean? And this shape is synonymous with the Russian doll shape, right? You got the Russian dolls, and they have layers upon layers. And eggs don't have layers upon layers, but onions do. And you can blow a bubble within a bubble. I do it all the time with my gum. So you see how you have this kind of up here, this one bubble cut off, humans, and then you have the nature underneath. It's usually cut off by something, right? Like some sort of outfit, some sort of necktie. And I just feel like the bubble shape is very much synonymous with that. So that's my outlook on it. And so I'm just wondering if I should like, draw a flat Earth, or paint a flat Earth type of depiction scene where I'm kind of getting across how I feel about the physics behind it. Because don't get me wrong, I like Martin Kinney's work a lot. But I think that there's just maybe a lot of like things that he says like are for sure, and they kind of I think that they should be like cross-referenced a little bit more and scrutinized a little bit more. But overall, I love his work, and every time he drops a video, you better believe I'm there watching. Okay, so I got to put some color into these like foam breaks. Actually, let me get back to the cat quickly. All that we know the artist. All that we know now is because of the artists of those time and the past is read via the artists' facts. I really care for art. Thank you very much. I really love art too. Sanjay W. My zodiac is Leo. Each one teach one. Flat Earth painting would be good. Yeah. I think that'd be a cool thing for me to do. Flat Earth painting. Why not? Do you think, boss? Master Ross. Do I think that the dome's farther out? Like there's a dome bit. But it's like where the crack thingy is on the star walk up to the universe. Ooh, that's a good question. Like I think that there's layers of the dome, as of right now, but the dome also may be containing the black stars, and there might be something outside of the black stars, of that blackness, like that. The glass, the dome could be like filled with that that blackness. Maybe it's like a black waters. Mind's Eye, you're saying how much money is this painting? This is $1,800. This is already sold for somebody. This is 4 feet by 3 feet. and I usually charge $175 per square foot. So you can do the math. If you want like a 3 foot, like a 2 foot by 3 foot painting, you times 2 by 3 and you get 6, and then you times that by 170, and then you get the price. The reason why I do that is because it's the one and only. It's original. There's no duplicates unless you choose to do that, and if you do, it just heightens the value of the original. So it's always appreciating. Art is always appreciating. The more I get out, the more I get out there, the my name out there, the more I travel. I have my art in 3 different continents right now. You know what I mean? Europe, Africa, and Canada, and well, North America, because I have paintings in Texas and stuff like that. So yeah, 170, 175, but maybe I can do a discount to my Flat Earth crew. You know, maybe I can do 150, 150 to you guys, $150 a square foot, simply because I don't know. It's not just, hey, who's this artist? Hey, can you do something for me? It's more like, you guys rock with me, you guys support, you know. So the least I can do is give you guys like a flat family discount. You know what I'm saying? Or just like a conscious discount. You know what I mean? I don't want to, you know, I got to eat too, right? But I mean, if I could save you money, and if you really appreciate the art and really want to take care of the art, then yeah, why not, right? Some nice crisscrosses, some more organic. See what's happening here. Okay. Misal, only the wise, masterpiece. Keep going. We artists like watching art in the making. Yeah, for real. Yeah, no doubt. I should probably re-upload this in double speed, right? Yo, D Money. Yo, what up, masterpiece? I did my first anima last night after my video. D Money. That's what I'm talking about, baby. You know what I'm saying? Taking it and you know, getting back control of your health no matter what it entails. That's what I'm talking about. I'm proud of you, man. That's great. D Money, whether it's a guy or a girl, I don't know, but I'm proud of you, man. That's what I'm talking about. And I think oh, I've been sharing the screen this whole time, guys. Come on. I think that I think that, like, man, being able to say, yeah, I just did an enema. That's great, man. No shame. Only the cleansing. I love it. Krista, what's going on? How are you? Okay, Brandon. Peace, man. Yeah, man. Peace out. Have a good night. Yeah, yeah, David B. That plane created by the figure 8 bubbles. I think that's where we would live on. You know, that's just what makes sense to me. Paint Brandon Lawson. Paint me what's under and around flat Earth. What if it's flat, but it goes on for millions of miles, just frozen, and only 1% of the planet's melted? Well, yeah, that's how I kind of feel too. It just keeps on going. Just kidding. I ain't on a movie, but I just, you know, don't know shit. Hey, well, I can sell it. Yeah. Hey, well, if you guys want to find customers, hey, you can definitely do that for me, and I can, you know, I can definitely give you guys a little percentage there, you know, a little finder's fee. You know what I mean? Why not? I wouldn't have had the customer if it wasn't for you. You know, say you find me a painting and you can get a square foot for yourself. You know what I mean? Somebody wants a painting that's 2 feet by 3 feet, and I charge $150 a square foot. If that's 6 square feet, you know, you can have one of those square feet at $150. Keep that, you know, find more people. If they want 10 paintings, then that's 150 times 10. do something like that. We can work something out. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It's all good with me, guys. I don't have any agents. I don't have, you know what I'm saying? Much support, really. My crowd is maybe a little too young to be purchasing thousands of dollars of worth of paintings. You know? I just recently sold many paintings by way of commission to a couple that wanted to fill the house with my art. I met them at a barbecue. And we stayed in touch, and they said, "Yeah, we want your art in our house." Needless to say, I was humbled and I wanted to do it. Okay, let's get into the dark blue. Enough being scared. Let's just go right into it. Think about it later. Yeah, I mean, Sal, you're right, man. I do got to eat as an artist. You know, I hate selling myself, but somebody's got to do it, or else, you know, it's a waste of talent. I wish I was like, I wish I could go right back in time to the days where art was like the thing, where there was no TV, and it was like art is everything. You know what I mean? I think art was the first form of control. You know, before the reset happened, before we reset and the mud floods happened or whatever the cataclysms happened, the sound technologies wiped us out after our wars. And I think that painting was the first way of controlling people because, you know, they didn't have a printing press for a Bible. And the paintings were so realistic that, you know, if you lived back in those days and you had never seen like art like that before, you're literally thinking that Jesus is going to jump off of the canvas. You're probably going to have dreams about it. Word up. Okay, so like I said, no more being scared. Let's just go right into this. That's a big problem with artists is that we get scared a lot. You know what I mean? It's such a perfect, you know, water right now. If we add anything, we'll screw it up. But you know, you'll never know unless you try. So we get another brush. We get a dark blue. Each one teach one. You think that cloud's perfect? Thank you. Thank you. I spend a lot of my days looking at clouds, not gonna lie. A lot of my days looking at clouds. I still kind of want to add a little bit more work into it, but I don't want to add too much texture. I don't like seeing brush strokes in clouds. I feel like it's cheap. You guys are silly, man. Well, yeah. I had a really challenging night, more challenging than anybody could believe. And if I told you, you guys would be floored, and you guys would say, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're awake right now and you're not out causing mayhem or something like that with what just happened to me." Do I want to talk about it? No. That's why I'm painting. You know. But whatever. That painting is what I guess is keeping me sane right now. I couldn't sleep. Actually, I fell asleep with my daughter, putting her to sleep. You know how that happens. And straight up, I just, I woke up and I was like, you know what? I can't go back to sleep. I gotta smoke a joint or something. And then I thought about the painting and I got excited. And I said, what's this? What's this feeling inside? It's this magical feeling of excitement because, you know, as an artist, you don't choose when you inspire. The inspiration comes to you, and you just either got to take advantage of it or you got to wait for it to come back around. Sometimes you'll be out with some friends and you just want to go home and paint. You can't. Now remember, the further back we go into the space, the less height we need to describe a level change. You know what I mean? We just make little minute up and downs. And what's happening is, as I come layer by layer down and down and down, it makes it their own little crisscrossing waves. Okay? Now, the trick about making a straight line is you never want to look at your brush or your pencil. Never want to look at your pencil. You just want to look right ahead of it. You want to look at the line that you're following and trust that your hand is going to follow. And if you just trust your hand, it will never, ever misguide you. Just always look right ahead of your brush. The moment you look at your brush, you're going off the line. You're not looking at the line anymore. That's why that's very important. Now over here, I'm going to be reflecting the clouds. So it's going to be a little bit whiter. It's going to be whiter here. Okay? It's going to brighten it up here. So about probably like here. And then when it comes down to here, I have to tape off certain flat parts that are reflecting the sky above. And so I'll have maybe like a couple centimeter strip here, maybe an inch strip, and then maybe like a 2-inch strip here and here with like light translucent clouds above reflecting the sky. But what I gotta do now is I work in its havoc when I work. It's just absolute mayhem. You know, I don't like to clean until the painting is done. Kind of simplifies something for me, and you know, I really like a clean space, so it kind of motivates me to clean. So I like to leave it a mess. You know, I like to leave the remnants of this painting here with me. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to throw anything away because I don't know. It's like the energy or something. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not done until I'm done. Don't ask me to clean up my area until I'm done the painting. What's the point of cleaning up the area if you're just gonna paint more? I understand moderate cleaning, not in between. You know, when you gotta take your brushes up and put your paints back. And, well, not all of them, right? You want to leave the ones that you're doing, you know, maybe beside. Okay, so I think that we're getting nice, like a nice depth here. I'm seeing a lot of level changes here, This isn't what I wanted to do just now. Yeah. Well, now that I know that people like to watch paintings, you know how much more live streams I can do, guys? You know how many times I'm like, what should I do? Should I live stream or paint? Live stream or paint? And sometimes I'll join a panel while I'm painting, and people will be like, "Oh wow, he's painting and stuff," but I'll be like, "Yeah, that's just what I do." But I didn't know that many people really had an interest to see. So that's why I'm kind of excited now, because maybe I can keep my career online, because I don't like charging for the green streams. You know what I mean? I don't like charging for health. That's something that we need. But I mean, for the art, that's like a luxury. You know what I mean? And that's my talent. So maybe I should do like a put a 1 in the chat right now. I know that there's only like 6 people, 10 people, 19 viewers. What the? I know that there's only 19 viewers, but why don't you put in the chat right now if you would like me to paint and then auction off the paint at the end of the episode? You know what I mean? Or if I should start the episode off with an idea, like get your guys' thoughts. Like, hey guys, what do you want me to paint today? And then I paint it, and then and then maybe we could do a pool where everybody kind of like pitches in like $5 or something like that for those that want it or that can afford it. And then at the end of it, we can do some sort of random type of draw or something. And then like a person that has donated, out of all the people that are watching, the people that have donated would kind of only be able to be in the draw. And if you've donated, then it could be like a raffle type of thing. You know what I mean? Like you buy a raffle ticket kind of thing. You could do that. I think that would be pretty dope. What do you guys think, man? Let me know in the chat what you guys think about that. Because honestly, like, I'll tell you straight up right now, I really don't like accepting money off of people. Like, it feels weird. It feels like everything you just did and said was disingenuous. And now that the money is in the bag, I just go on with my day. I don't know. I've never liked salesmen coming to my door. I don't know, selling somebody on something. But I do got a family, and I'm growing up and growing older, and maybe I just gotta get out of my comfort zone and just say, you know what, like, it's only right to go out there and sell yourself. And once again, I'm not talking about the health. I'm not gonna ever charge someone for health. One time I really admired this person online who gives a lot of good health advice and really got me into the whole juicing and everything. Really got me into that. And where can I put this for you guys? He really got me into the juicing thing. And I went to him and I'm like, yo, I would like a health consultation, like, like from my mom or something like that. And he said some ridiculous amount. And I was like, holy, are you serious? Like, you woke me up. I'm such a big fan. Can you just please, like, give me a discount? I can't afford that. And you know what he writes back to me? He's like, don't ever say that you can't afford it. You got to put it out to the universe that you can afford it. And I'm like, okay, I could either, put it out there to the universe night after night while my mom gets sicker, or you can just friggin' come down in your pricing for me. Nobody else has to know. Like, what the hell? But, you know what I mean? Some people are money hungry. Some people, they study and they spend all the money and they just can't wait to go make the money off people. And that's exactly why I do the green streams. It's like, don't gotta come here and pay for this to heal yourself. Like, what kind of devil makes you pay for that shit? So that's what inspired me to do the green streams, and that's why I give away this information free. And I'm sure that there's a lot of communities that are quite pissed off at me right now because, and actually I'm feeling that. I'm getting a lot of hate because I'm giving away knowledge for free. I'm noticing a lot of weird stuff happening. And so, but you know, for art, yeah, I'm gonna start having to charge for my art because you know what? It's worth it. Oh wow, that was fun. I wish I had a better. Oh, wait, I do. Yes. Hold on, y'all. It's 4 o'clock. You know, needless to say, I'm happy with how the piece is turning out so far. And so tight down here. And I'm also happy that you guys are with me. Kind of just giving me a little bit of company. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go downstairs and I gotta paint. And it's nice to get away, but at the same time, you know, after such a bad night, kind of just depressing. Just wanted to be with someone. And now you guys are here with me, so everything worked out, I guess. Now you guys are making my night really, really special and a lot more fun. So thank you for that. Oh, the by the way note is that masterpiece. Let's see. Okay, what's going on, people? How's it going? Krista wanted something. It's good. Yeah, you love the painting. I'm an artist too. Krista, you're an artist? That's cool. Do you have like an Instagram account? Oh, well, I'm glad I could provide some sort of inner peace to you. Mind's Eye, once again, thank you for that donation. I really appreciate that. Let's see. I'm trying to find the by the way comment. Maisel. Starving artist was, yeah, that's right. It's okay to feel how and what you feel. Thanks. Oh, you don't have an Instagram? I encourage you to make one. I love poetry. I write poetry. I mean, like, I'm not gonna say like I have a poetry book and I go and I write poetry in it, but you know, I mean, it evolved into rap. Back when we had to do poetry in school, I really excelled in it. The teachers noticed that I was just really quick with it, and that the words that I was using was, you know, a lot more profound than words for my age. And but I kind of got out of that. I kind of was like, you know, wanting to be cool and all that, so I kind of ignored a lot of my personal inner desires. Like, for example, right? One example, I wanted to play the clarinet or the flute. I just thought that the sound was just so amazing and what a range and such mastery. You know what I mean? That woodwind and that the flute. It's just it takes a lot of mastery to move and to be able to play that. And I love the sound that it makes. And who doesn't? And so, but I, you know, back in my school where I was at, you know, only the girls played flutes and clarinets, right? And then I would see some guys that, you know, I would call nerds, you know, some losers, which I'm so stupid for, picking the clarinet. And I'm like, yo, wow, these guys, you know, I would actually admire them. I'm like, wow, I guess they don't care what anybody thinks about them. You know what I mean? Which is something that I did a lot in school. So regrets, regrets, regrets. So I'm going to add a little bit of red into my blue to make the darker waves. Why? Because we just talked about it. You kind of want to bring the contrasting color in to deepen it, to help deepen it, and to also help make it stand out from the other colors. Good morning, mad scientist. I like how you spelled that, scientist. Thank you. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate that compliment. I guess yeah, I can make it better for you guys there. Thank you. I appreciate that compliment. Yeah, I miss writing as well. I have all this music that I made. I've produced music, and I really want to write to it because the way the beats are, I don't feel like anybody would really understand and really bring out what I intended to be brought out of it. So I think I want to write, like, I want to get back into my writing a little bit more. I miss it a lot. Okay, that was a fail. No, well, maybe not. Well, let's see. Sometimes when you don't thoroughly wash out your brush, you get like a milky, muddy look. You know what I mean? And I can't stand when artists don't change their brush. I mean, unless that's the look that they're going for, but don't make it muddy. Go for that look, but don't make your blues suddenly turn into brown because you didn't want to clear out your brush. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see. So we're just gonna do little dottings of this darker blue because honestly, the highlights is what's really setting this ocean ablaze, right? And the lowlights just kind of help bring those highlights up. You know what I mean? Like I'll just go right in between here, add some darkness, extend that out this way. So I'm going opposite all of the highlights. If you guys watched my moon video about how the moon is not a sphere, you'll know that I care a lot about highlights and that type of stuff. And I can see it from a mile away. You cannot tell me that the moon is a sphere. I've been observing that for way too long. I remember the eclipse of 96. I think it was 96. Was it 96? No. It was 92 or 93. Yeah. I was like in grade 3. I'm I'm like 32, so I don't know if you guys could tell that. I don't know if I look older or younger than 32. I get ID'd often when I go by zigzags. I'm playful. I'm light. I get on all fours. I play with my daughter like I'm a dog. I play like I'm her horse or pony. I skip sometimes, like in the street. I'm talking about. Like I skip. Like I'm trying to cross the street. I could either jog or I can go into a nice light skip. Which one takes less energy? Yeah. Had a horrible night, guys. Oh man. Horrible, horrible night. But you know what, man? You know what I realized? That time heals all. Everything is sorted without in time. Like you might be going through the worst night of your life, people, but always just remember that it's temporary, right? And that thing that you think that you might have lost, or person you think you might have hurt, or the job that you might have lost, or a family member, it's all gonna get better. And life is full of hardships, and if you're not willing to take those hardships head on, then it's life is gonna pull you under. You can't let life pull you under, guys. You can't. Because the people that sub to my channel, we're leaders, guys, in our own households, guys. You know what I mean? We see the future like others don't. Okay? We think like others don't. They're afraid of us. And so don't ever think about ridding your life, or don't ever think that because nobody understands you that you'd be better off in the ground. Because there's nothing further from the truth. Okay? You're beautiful. You have your own unique outlook on stuff. And maybe it seems like sometimes life is unfair to you and you keep on getting the bad draw, the short end of the stick, but I can promise you the tide changes. The tide has to change. And when it changes, if you just stay positive, you're going to go with it, and you're going to go on a fantastic ride. It'll be a fantastic voyage. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. And no, I'm not talking about Coolio's rendition. Slide, slide, slippity slide. I'm talking about the real fantastic voyage. Who is that? Earthwind? Love me some Earthwind. Without Earthwind, we wouldn't even have half the music that we have today. Facts. People bit mad styles from Earthwind. I'm going to get back to the chat and see what you guys are saying. Let me just finish off with this first. I don't want to lose where I am. The depth. So you don't want to have too many of these darker waves unaccompanied by a highlight. You want the highlight and the wave, the highlight and the dark, highlight, the dark, because then it's just going to look like you have a bunch of waves coming up, but if they're not catching any highlights, then it looks out of place. And remember, you want to stay consistent with the shadow, with the light source. You always want to keep the light source in mind. Where is it? Where is your sun? Where is your light in the room that you're painting? Where is the light's source? Is it a local light source? Is it a local lighting? Or is it ambient lighting from somewhere off in the distance? What color is the light? Is it an orange warm light? Or is it like the sun? Or is it a cool blue light like the moon's light, which obviously is not reflecting the sun's light? Not only is it colder, but it's completely different quality. If I was to paint the moonlight right now, all I would have to do is add white to this blue. But if I'm trying to paint the sunlight, then I need yellow. I need orange. I need that warmth. Sometimes I don't think that people understand just how much observation, because how much of the percentage of the world are artists? Not much, right? So they can get away with a lot of stuff. Yeah, Krista, man, you're talking a lot of sense. Oh, Krista, you emailed me. That's good. That's good. My email is swamped, and I gotta stay in order about chronological order. I gotta get back to the people first. Thanks a lot, Krista. You're really helping me out through tonight, making me feel better. Like, you guys understand what's happening. I mean, everybody goes through their things, right? And this isn't no sap show. It's just yeah, that's all I'm saying. Let's see. I'm so glad to realize how special we care. Race. We stop racing, we'll have time to care. Yeah, I like that. Oh, Krista, you've had poetry published. That's great. That's really great. Oh, wow. I was put down at 14. Well, hey, I'm here with you if you ever need to talk. Thank you for sharing that with everybody. Mad scientist, you crazy. You guys are great. That master. I thought you were much younger, to be honest, but your mentality is far more mature than your average at your age. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You can see it when I smile, like the lines here. I just gotta get some fats in my diet and more elastin-rich foods, like like cucumber and stuff like that. Tighten that skin. Lemon. Much love to you, She Ether. Good night to you. Good night to everybody. Thanks a lot. Each one teach one. I appreciate that. Krista, I'm 211 currently. Oh, really? 211. 415 for me. It's 4:15 for me right now. I'm on the east. Well, I'm in Toronto, just above New York, so New York time. If we can motivate kids to get into art, help them think for themselves. Yes, it will help them think for themselves. Um, yeah, I'm glad others are up too. She either. You know what? I've always wanted to teach kids art. I just feel like it's such a shame to watch a child try to draw something and then not be able to. Like, I don't know. It's something that I've taken for granted for a long time in my life, and I just realized it just the other day when my sister was drawing all of the letters of the alphabet for my daughter, right? And when she drew the letters, she would draw an accompanying thing like E's for elephant, and she would draw an elephant or what was supposed to be an elephant. And I'm sitting back and I'm mortified, like absolutely mortified about how her elephant looked. And I right then and there I said, wow, like it's a real struggle for people to conjure up. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the the inability to have the motor skill to like make the small little details, or the inability to hold the picture in their mind in such detail. You know what I mean? Like when you think of an elephant, is she just thinking the color of the skin, or like like a movie cover, or is she thinking? Does she think back to a cartoon elephant? That's possible. Like maybe someone that's like maybe my sister doesn't think back to like a real life elephant when she thinks about an elephant. That's very possible. Um, and if that's the case, then that's kind of sad, right? Because you you want to be in reality, right? You want to be thinking about reality when you think to notions, right? That's why it's not really great to let your kids watch so much cartoons, right? Because it's like they're going to be thinking that that is the way it should be on the screen. And then you bring them to see an elephant in real life, and they're like, wait a minute, it's not purple, and it's not talking, and it doesn't have pink toes, and you know what I mean? Like, what's going on? This isn't the elephant that I, fell in love with. So So right now I'm just kind of adding a little bit more depth into the water by I'm painting. You can see these triangles, right, popping up out of the water. I'm just painting around them because it's going back down, reflecting the blue sky, right? So just want to add a little bit more depth in there by just simply painting around these waves. So I have a wave here coming up. It's pretty obvious. So let me just darken up everything around it, showing that it's rising up and catching the light, right? See the wave. When the wave comes up, light comes through, and it mixes the yellow warm light from the sun and the yellowy warm hues from the beach, and that gangs up on each other, making this yellow. I use a lot of yellow right here, and and so as it comes up, more light penetrates through and saturates that, and it disperses the blue, because the water is only blue because it's reflecting the sky. So if the water is raising up and it's making like a point, now it's reflecting things that are, adjacent to the sky, and you're getting this, just a lot of depth. A lot of depth. There's a lot of painting tutorials online, and I was thinking about doing some of my own, but I didn't know if my videos would get lost in the mix. What do you guys think? You know what I mean? Like, do I got a chance out there? Like, should I put myself out there like that? You know what I mean? Like, I guess I guess it can't hurt realistically, but I mean, I really have no reason to say but right now. There's no reason to say but. I just gotta have more confidence in myself, I think. Wow, this has turned into like a open up session with my chat with my people, getting to know Master Peace on a personal level. That doesn't happen a lot with many people. I don't open up a lot. I love my family, and that's it. I love my friends, and now I'm honestly like, I'm not even gonna lie. I prefer having you guys talk to online over my friends. Can you believe that? Because I don't know. It's like my friends never bring up any of the stuff that I talk to you guys about, right? My friends never bring that up. They're never like, "Oh, hey, did you hear that? Like, you can print. They're making 3D printing for homes, and it only costs $10,000." And they're like, "Oh, because I started off as like a conspiracy guy, right? Saying, oh, they're gonna make a NAFTA, and they're gonna make a new Amero, and we're gonna have a new Amero coin, and there's lizard people." I flew to England to watch David Icke, perform or do his stuff. David Icke in Wembley Theatre in 2000. What was it? 2000. Jeez, I want to say 2013. Went to Wembley Theatre in the UK, in England, and watched David Icke speak on the Saturn moon matrix. And I was like, first of all, I kind of fell asleep because the place I was staying at in England was like a 2-hour train ride from Wembley. And so I just had to I slept on the train. I got into the arena. I was early. And I ended up falling asleep during his presentation. Adding some depth in here, doing some level changes. Don't ever be afraid, guys. You can always paint over it with art. Okay? You can always go over anything you feel is a mistake or shouldn't be there. And yeah, it takes a little while, but the more you just do it, the more you're gonna realize, hey, you know what? You don't need that stroke, and then you don't need to fix as many things, right? Let me get back to the chat. Let me see what you guys are up to. You guys are so amazing, man. You guys are like my ride or dies. You guys are joining me here while I'm painting. What? You know what I mean? And how late is it? I'm always thinking to myself when I'm doing these paintings, man, I wish people were up. You know what I mean? I wish somebody would go live. You know what I mean? Not realizing I'm the one that needed to go live because you guys are up. I always use my hand Hands are covered. You know what I mean? I was with my cousin the other day, and I was drawing something. I drew something on my skin, and he's like, I was chilling with an artist girl the other day, and she drew something on her skin too. And I was like, you artists are just like, you just will draw on your skin. And I'm thinking like, yeah, it's like your most reliable art pad when you're on a bus or when you're like, in a car ride or whatever, or in school, bored as fuck because the teacher's talking about chlorophyll, medulla oblongatas, and you're just like, what? So you're just drawing. You're just doodling on the corner of your desk. I mean, I would vandalize everything. Everything. I would take a test, and I hand in that test, and there's doodles all over it. When it says like sign your name or whatever, there would be no name. I would forget to sign my own test name before I would start doodling on it. I would rather doodle on my test paper than write my name on it. That's what's more important to me. And then of course I would have to write lines, right? I will not forget my name. I will not forget my name. I will not. 100 lines. Miss recess. My parents were like, yeah, this is a good idea, teacher. Thank you. Thank you for disciplining in such a Coach Carter type of way. He must have knew I was going to be a really big artist or something because he used to get me to do like murals for his class and stuff like that, and he would keep it. I would be out of that school and I would go back and visit, and I see my mural. I was like, you still use that mural as an example? He's like, yeah, I still use it. Of course. I love it. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Then why didn't I get paid for it? They take so much advantage of kids. Oh yeah, draw this big mural, this big like Halloween mural, and we'll hang it up for Halloween time. And then next year, you go by their house and some of the teacher's door, and it's their like Halloween mural thing that your student painted. Okay, what I'm really struggling on is how I'm gonna make the back look like. You see, what I'm gonna have to do now is, you see how everything was blue and I just added the white? What I'm gonna have to do now is I'm gonna have to flip it. I'm gonna have to like draw it, like paint it like light blue here, like very bright reflective, and draw little specks of dark. You know what I mean? I have to draw like little specks of dark blue to show that, because anything that's like a highlight makes like a gleam, like bigger than the actual thing, right? Because like it beams out. The highlight, it beams out like a star, kind of like the light right here, right above our heads, right? It ends there, but it looks bigger than it is. It gleams out. And even though it does do that, when we see the clouds going behind the sun, that's different, okay? Because you see this, it looks like the light is coming through my hand, okay? But if you look at it, you see my hand penetrate the light over here a little bit, and my sleeve over here penetrating the light a little bit. But you can still clearly see the wooden boards behind the light right up here. You can see those wooden boards, and you can see the shadows on them and the detail. You see that the light is facing the wooden boards. See, the light isn't facing my hand right now. You see my finger? See my fingers where the light's bouncing off of, the white? See that? So that's like the tops of clouds, right? And as it goes in front of the sun, it does get cut off by the brightness of the sun, but you're still seeing clouds behind the sun with the brightness to the face of the camera. So that's how you know that there's clouds behind the sun or the moon. Look at that next time. Or the next time somebody tries to debunk and use that, use this as a trick of saying, see, the clouds aren't behind the sun. No, you're not going to get away that easy, okay? But because the glares are so much bigger than they actually look, most of this back here is going to be glare. I'm thinking about maybe taping it off, maybe masking it off twice, and then rolling over it with white, like a whitey blue, and then maybe just like adding some white specks. I don't know what I'm gonna do quite yet, but I'm happy with the way the shore looks right now and how it's coming in. So now I am going to start with the footprints because the woman wants some footprints walking off into the distance. So let's see. Am I happy with that water? Let me back up. I have to go back at a distance and see what's really happening. And, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. That's fine. You know what? And while I'm just kind of completing the sandy portion, while I still have the colors up for the sand, I might as well make the shadows of these waves here. So let's see what I need. Some ochre. Just a little bit of ochre here. And what else? Some white I already have. A fresh brush. Actually, you know what? I don't need a fresh brush. I can stay with the blue because, like I told you guys, if you guys want to make a shadow, you don't just add black. Okay? You don't just add black. You add the opposing color. So I'm looking for like a brush that I could really fuck up. And I mean that in a very, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, I want to really mess up a brush, you know what I mean? I really want to blot it. And these brushes are nice. So I don't want to do that with that. And also, not all brushes are meant for that. There's brushes that are meant to take beatings. And then there's brushes that are meant to be like finishing brushes, right? And sometimes, you can't be afraid to cut your brush. I mean, I feel some hard pieces down here, so I'm just going to cut it off. This is like a stupid little dinky little kid's brush anyway, right? I don't really even need it. But sometimes those are what you need. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you need a brush that you don't care about to do like a bush or to do some feathers or to, do a cloud. Clouds are nice for that. So I can just kind of shape my own brush here. I got some hair cutting tips right here, right? Okay. So I feel like I got enough cut. Okay. All right. I made my own little kind of what was that? Let's see. Embrace change always. That's what I'm talking about. The only thing that's constant is change. Misael, masterpiece. If I use my binoculars, I can bring that shit back into view. It's a flat, isn't that right, Mr. Phil, Dr. Phil? That's right. A flat plane. I can't believe that. I tried to rip that off. And you know what, guys? Like, I'm not even gonna front right now. No idea is original, right? And so, I didn't create the plane of existence. I didn't create that saying, but I swear to God, though, that I was the first person that I heard say that. Like, in my mind, the term plane of existence never existed. I thought I had invented it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm onto something." But I just watched a video, and the video was like years ago. Actually, you know what? It was around the same time. But yeah, I was like, you know what? This guy got that from me. But no, obviously not. But No, when it comes to the pain of existence, it's what I wholeheartedly believe. And I I was the first person that I heard say it. Not saying that I made it up because, like I said, no idea is original. So I'm just bringing some of the sand color into this wave, into these waves here, just to kind of make it not so like separated. You know what I mean? Like it is picking up sand bits, right? So we gotta respect that. We gotta respect its wants. If you guys are wondering what I'm listening to, or what I listen to, or if you can even hear it, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but the things that I listen to aren't what everybody else listens to, that's for sure. I really like chill, down tempo, you know, beach chills, that kind of stuff. To me, it just, I don't know, minimal words. You know, I want minimal words in a lot of my music. You know what I mean? Now, hip hop is another thing, obviously. That's different. But it's just the fact that I can make my own lyrics in my own head. You know what I mean? I don't need someone screaming their lyrics and their thoughts and their prejudices and their thoughts about women in my head when I can just freestyle it. You know what I mean? And I can just create such a nicer tone towards that beat. Or something harder, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't always have to be soft and nice. Like it could be like a lot more gruesome. You know what I mean? But the fact is that it's whatever I want. You know what I mean? Whatever I want it to be said over that beat. That's what's happening. And you know what? Honestly, when you listen to music with very little words in it, you become such a more advanced freestyler because you're listening to beats that like you don't really often listen to, right? So you kind of like you can kind of master the flow of any kind of beat, any kind of rhythm change. And then if you are flowing to like something that is like it changes like these beats here, they change as they go on. It's called progressive music. Then that means that you'll never be caught off guard when like the DJ drops something, or you know what I'm saying? Or you can just always be versatile. Me, I like my beats in my music to switch up. Like I like when it has like a dramatic change. Look up Erica Badu, Green Eyes. Okay, it has 3 different beats in it. It's amazing, and if you're in that kind of, you know, if you're going through something, that song will bring some tears out of you. I love Erica. Absolutely love Erica Badu. She's like she can't hold down a man though. I don't know what that's about. I mean, does she freak men out when she dates them? Does she perform these magical ritualistic things that, you know, they weren't ready for or something? Like why is you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't want to get into celebrities' business. Mr. Vortex, much love. Much love. It's probably the end of it. Yo, it's yeah, maybe it is the ability, Misael, to hold um the like the image of a dog in the mind in such detail that you could reproduce it at any time. You know what I mean? At any given time. You know what I mean? To pick up a piece of paper out of nowhere and to say, I want to draw a dog, a pit bull head, and start with the two humps, because you know that pit bull head has got those two muscles up there right on top of the head, and that it comes down and it has a quite abrupt level change and a kind of like a short snout, right? And you know that the snout kind of changes colors and it's bumpy and it goes from pinkish to red. Maybe it's a pink nose, pity, but then you know that it's got the ears, and did the owner clip the ears? You know what I mean? Before it was, you know what I mean, conscious and whatever. So you got the ears, you got it clipped. The ears are being clipped. They should fold over, and do the ears kind of come in? What's happening there? And it kind of comes back around and it comes lower. The top of the ear goes lower, and they usually have one and really weird like cartilage inside of there, really weird cartilage patterns to help them hear. And comes down, and they got the big jaws, and usually with like a pit bull, or American Staffordshires, I've realized that they usually have some sort of like of a mole, you know what I mean, or like a mole right here with some hair coming out of it, and and you got the black mouth that obviously hangs down really low and it drools, and you got a couple of like dots here for the whiskers to come out, and you're doing the eyes, and the eyes over here they raise up. You still got the glare and the cheekbone, and then this eye here kind of raises up, and you still got the glare and the cheekbone. And animals don't have a lot of white parts in their eyes. You know what I mean? It's just all very dark, like a lot of animals. And you kind of got their brow with a couple of whiskers sticking out of their brow. You know what I mean? And you just recall these things. Oh, and there's usually some sort of jaw structure here, like a cheekbone. You know what I mean? So you just kind of recall it and pull it back up out of the blue. You know what I mean? And so maybe a lot of people can't really hold that image in their head long enough. But yeah, whatever it is, bless them. Oh, bless you, lad. Bless the lads. Okay, so I need orange because this is getting a little muddy and murky. Oh, I don't want to drink this Dasani water right now. And my distilled water, this is my mixing water, but my distilled water is all the way upstairs. Ugh. It's like, I just want a studio apartment. I moved back into my house I was out there traveling, making a name for myself. Now sit back and catch this story I'm about to drop you, okay? I want to get out there and I travel, and I'm single at the time. And I say, you know what? I really just want to go see if I can have what it takes to just make it on my own volition as an artist. You know what I mean? An artist just doing his own thing. And so my friend said, I'm getting married and I'm going to the East Coast of Canada to get married. And I've really, we've been friends a long time. Right now I'm just getting in the shadows of the waves here. We've been friends a long time at this point, and so I really wanted to go support her in a new relationship. And she had moved out to Alberta, and I had visited her a couple times out in Alberta. You know what I mean? So it was like, good friends, right? And so she says, yeah, I'm going to get married out east in Canada, right? Nova Scotia. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm there. Like, you know what I mean? I'm so there. So I booked, no, I didn't book a flight. My friend said, yeah, I'm driving down there. Do you want to ride? And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I do. So I went there, and I had about $400 on me, okay? And with all the wedding festivities, I had probably spent a nice $175 of it. So I probably have like 200 and like 200 and something bucks, $270, $250, something like that. not doing math right now. I'm in my right brain. I'm not doing math right now. So, anyways, I'm there, and we're enjoying the wedding, and it was great. And then, but I said to myself, I'm gonna stay. People are going out there for the wedding and coming back home, and there's people that are gonna stay there, like the family and friends, and they're gonna stay there for like another week and just really enjoy each other's time. And I thought that was really cool. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna come to your wedding, and I'm gonna stay, and I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna paint what I have to paint, draw whoever I have to draw. And so there I am in Halifax, Nova Scotia, east coast of Canada. Don't know anybody. I have like $200. I go to a hostel and I say, hey, is there any open rooms? And they're like, well, it's kind of late to book a room now, but like, yeah, we'll give you a room. And I'm like, thanks, I just got in. Like, I took a bus from like Dartmouth all the way in. And like I said, I didn't know anybody, didn't know what to do. I didn't even have a phone. I had like a cell phone where I could catch Wi-Fi and that's it, right? So I'm just there. I've traveled before, right? So I the next morning I wake up and I go to a hostel called the HI, okay, and they're international hostels. And if you go to Amsterdam, Toronto, England, you can find an HI, right? That's what it's like. So I get to the hostel in the morning, and I says to the guy, I'm like, hey, do you guys need a mural or any art, something to make this pop off? Because I've noticed in hostels, they have art, done by local people or people just stopping through. And to my luck, the guy said yes. He said, in fact, we do. And then he showed me the room, and it was a three-sided room. And I said, yeah, I can paint here for free accommodation. Why don't you let me stay here in the hostel for free? I'll paint you this mural that you'll have forever. And however long it takes me, say it takes me a month or 2 months or whatever, you'll just give me free room and board. And I'll figure out my own eating situation. Well, there's common areas in the hostel where, people coming and going, they'll leave their food. So they'll leave their grapes or their lettuce behind or their peanut butter. You better believe I was on that. And then at nighttime, I would go to the bars because Halifax has like the most like live performances per capita, like in Canada. And so I'm there, I'm enjoying the blues nights and the jazz and really getting a soak of the Halifax life, making friends. I went to a Mediterranean place who had the best falafels. I was already a vegan. They had the best falafels. And I said to him, hey, do you want any like artwork done in here outside of your building to kind of spruce it up? Like, I really love your falafels, and I think that you should have more business than what you're getting. And he said, well, how much would you charge? And I said, well, why don't you just like, pay me like a couple $100 and I can, and maybe some free meals or something while I'm painting, and, we'll call it that. And so he agreed, and I had that gig going on, and then at nighttime, I would go to the bars where there was people performing during their live performances, and I would draw the band members, right? I would draw the drummer. I would basically draw whoever's the most still. You know what I mean? Whoever's moving the least, so I can get a nice, good depiction. Did that a couple nights. Sometimes I would fail. Not fail, but sometimes I would just have to keep that art, and because nobody wanted it or nobody could afford it. And then there was some nights where I would get paid, and I would get paid handsomely. Like one time I did this painting for a guy. He was like the bass player, and he's like, man, I love it. It's beautiful, but I literally don't have any money on me. And then his band members come around, and they're like, yo, what are you guys talking about? And he's like, yo, guys, check out this painting this guy did for me. But, I can't pay him. I gave him one of our CDs. And then the guys are like, wow, this is incredible. Like, you just painted this just now, like while we were performing? I was like, yeah. And then he's like, well, I got, he reaches into his pocket. He's like, I got $10. And then another band member says, I got $20 I could pitch on that. And like another guy says, oh, I got $5 on me right here. And some guy had like some loose change. And before you know it, I was walking out of there. I tried to sell it for $20, but next thing you know, I'm walking out of there that night with $45 in my hand and a beer. You know what I mean? So when you put it out to the universe, everything, like the book The Alchemist says, the universe conspires to help you. You know what I mean? It conspires to watch you succeed. It wants you to succeed. The universe wants to see what you can do. That's the whole game here, folks. The whole game is, what can you do with this creation that I've made? There's creation here. It's everywhere. What are you going to do with it? That's why there's evil. Because it's like, what are you doing with it? Well, you're not doing anything. The people that are working hard to be evil, there aren't people that are working just as hard to be good. That's just the facts. The people that are maintaining this evil structure, they're working at it day and night to keep us in the state that we're in, right? So we can't just expect that, it's going to be all fine. And we can't expect that, God and the Creator is going to take it away from us, all the evil away for us. We got to do for self. You know what I mean? So I'm out there and I'm making my intentions known to the universe, and things like that have happened to me. And then after that, after 12, 1 o'clock, I would go back to my hostel, right? I'm still continuing with the story, guys. Like, remember I said I got a story to tell. So I'm meeting people and I'm having intimacies with women, and I'm from Denmark and from all over the earth, and getting to know them on deeper levels. And I would go home at night after the bars, after drawing people I would need to draw to get some money. And sometimes, like I said, it would be a good night, sometimes it wouldn't be. But either way, I would go back and paint my mural that I was commissioned to paint, like for free room and board. So like I would go out there and do art for food, and then I would come back to do art for a place to stay. And for the nights that I didn't make any money, I would get very, very hungry, as you can imagine. But the way it would go is it would usually go like this. Like, I would go out to the pier in the daytime, and I would find a couple that's sitting on the pier, right? And I said, okay, this is a cute couple, elder couple. It looks like they have a little bit of funds, you know what I mean? Let me paint them. So I would paint them. Sometimes they would get up and walk away before I'm finished the painting. So I'm like, shoot. I just, I would have to either get up and chase them and say, hey, I was painting you. Do you want to buy it with an unfinished piece? Or I would finish it and they would buy it. And when that would happen, I would be able to afford some food. Okay. Now I'm from the gutter. I'm from the hood. I don't know what you guys think about me or where you think I'm from, but I've never been the type of person to ever worry about where someone's from or care about where someone's from, because I know that everybody, especially from traveling, I know that everybody has a story to tell. And so that's why I'm not afraid to go in the most gutterest of gutter with anybody. I don't care how big you look or mean and scary you look, because you know what? The fact is that I've been in scarier places. I've been in Africa, into slums that you wouldn't believe. I've had people in Africa and in Jamaica hold my wrist, talking about, give me your shit, give me your chain, give me that necklace, even though it was made out of wood. I've had people dangle knives in front of me, yardies, in the hills of Jamaica, straight country, the country boys there, pull knives on me, in broad daylight. No one's around. I'm just cruising the countryside, the hills, of Lucy in Jamaica, and I've had yardies pull out knives on me and take me places, tell me that they're taking me one place, And then I get there, and then I'm at another place, and I can tell it's a bad situation, and I don't show no fear ever, but I always talk my way out of it because I have logic. You know what I mean? And I let them know, you don't want to do this. You really don't want to do this. And that's the vibe I put out. And the vibe is, yo, I'm not afraid of you right now. I'm not going to comply with you. And whatever you want to take from me, maybe you're going to end up taking it, but it's not going to be as easy for you as you thought. Point blank, okay? So I came from the gutter. I came from the hood. I don't mind eating canned food. I don't mind not knowing where my next meal is coming from. And I've gone to bed hungry many nights, and I've slept on park benches. But you know what? The thing is that because I have fasted, and you know what? That's what I told my brother. I said, you know what, Shane? There's times when you're not going to be able to eat. There's going to be times where you're stuck on a flight. There's going to be times where you're stuck in the airport. You can't get any food. You're in a disaster, something, right? God forbid. But there's times that you can't predict. And when those time comes, you never want to be caught off guard like you've never done this before. You never want the first time you haven't eaten in 48 hours. You don't want the first time to be, with your family on a trip or, when you're stranded or something. You want to be like, okay, you know what? Doesn't look like I'm going to be eating tonight. Our flight's delayed. I got no money. Doesn't look like I'm eating tonight. And you just want to be able to be good with that. You want to say, you know what? I fasted before. You know what I mean? Or if you're up all night at the trap, you know what I'm saying? And there's no food at the fiend's house, all they got is like crap. And you're up all night, you're in the trap, you're waiting for to serve customers, and you're just starving. You know what I mean? Your man's is out there, he's working on the corner, on the strip. So you just gotta hold it down at the trap on your shift. There's no fucking food. What are you gonna do? You don't want that first time, you know what I mean, to be when you're supposed to be watching your daughter or watching the trap or doing whatever you're doing, whatever your life situation is. I don't know anybody's life situation. Nobody knows mine. So don't assume what Masterpiece is or isn't. And I've never had a problem with it, like online or anything like that. I'm just saying it, just throwing it out there because I'm shooting the shit, opening up to you guys, talking to you guys. And so sometimes I wouldn't be able to afford food, right? For the nights that I would be out there. And I would have to go to bed with a hurt stomach, you know what I mean? But it didn't matter before because I've already been through that. So then what it taught me was how to draw quicker. Okay, that's what it taught me. How to draw quicker, how to look at a couple on a pier and sketch in what I need to sketch in, get the details, and get what I need to do and show it to them. And say, look, guys, I'm a traveling artist, you know what I mean? This is what I do. Are you willing to support me? You know what I mean? Would you like to take this home with you guys on your trip? You know what I mean? Just remember your trip by. And then I would go back to the hostel, and maybe if I got some food, I would go grocery shopping. You know what I mean? Because I'm not one to eat out much. I like to make my own food. So I'd be up in the hostel, making food for people, making food for myself, and just really fending for myself, right? So I'm out there, and remember, the story has a point. I'm getting to it. So I'm out there, and it all started off with saying why I live here, under my parents' roof. So I'm out there, I'm doing my thing, I'm making a name for myself, I'm getting interviews, okay, like Blogspot interviews, you know what I mean? People stopping through the hostels being like, I'm here to do reports on this, but if you would love to like interview about like your art. When I was in Africa, I was on TV, I got interviewed on TV for doing my art. I was, making a lot of art, a lot of noise in the town. I was there for 6 months. And in like the 5th month, I had like a little series thing. And if you want to go check that out, that's on my that's in my page, on my YouTube page. It's called like Court, the Masterpiece is on like Africa TV or something like that, right? Anyways, so on with the story. it's approaching my mom's birthday, and she's a summer born. So and there it's her 50th birthday, and everybody's saying, "Oh, you got to be home. You know, your mother's magic child. You know, you know all that stuff." They're trying to like, "Oh, Corey has to be there." You know what I mean? So I'm like, "No, I can't go. Like, I can't. I came out here with like, I came out here with like. Now at this point in time, I had traveled. I had hitchhiked from Halifax to Cape Breton Island, okay, which is still a part of Halifax, but don't say that to a Cape Bretoner, okay, because they like to be known as their home, and rightfully so. I mean, if you go there, it's beautiful. And so, anyways, right? So I'm there in Cape Breton. I had hitchhiked there with two German fellas, and we had met a French guy on the way. So we're hitchhiking, and we make it a certain amount of kilometers. A woman picks us up on the highway. We had been hitchhiking at that point for maybe 4 hours, and we're just at our wits' end. She drives us to like a central gas station that truckers stop at. And you know, our luck of the draw was just a little too late. And the guy tells us, well, you know, most hitchhikers have already came and left, got a ride. So we had to spend our night there, but we couldn't sleep there. It was only a truck stop, and we weren't truckers, so we couldn't sleep in the gas station little holding. They had like a little holdings in the back for truckers to sit, and a little TV and microwave and stuff like that. But they were like, "Hey guys, if you guys are here, you guys can't sleep." I'm like, "What? Like, bro, like you're not gonna let us sleep? Like, you know our deal." Anyways, couldn't let us sleep. Long story short, and so we slept out by the dumpsters in the back of the garbage, by the garbage cans, in the back of the gas station, and we spread out some newspaper, and there was only rocks to sleep on and stuff like that, and it stunk. But once again, you know, it doesn't matter. I've been in worse positions. And you know what? It's especially worse if you don't if you're not choosing that. You know, if you get kicked out or if some shit happens and you're in that position, that sucks. But when you've hitchhiked and you've done this, it's a little bit better. You know what I mean? And I fasted before, so I'm good, right? So we wake up the next morning. It's like 5. Um, get some breakfast at the get like a bagel or something like that with some peanut butter. Right at this point, all I had was like peanut butter, and the person. Okay, so now at this point, I've gotten the brown in there, right, underneath here. So now what I want to do is I want to go back to my other brush, that white brush, that fan brush, and I want to paint over top of that now, because remember, it's everything from back to front, right? And thank you, everybody that's joining me. I got had 29 viewers just now, and that was the most of the night. So I thank you all for being with me. So back to the story, right? We're hitchhiking. We get a hitchhiker to pick us up. It's a really tight fit. He drops us off a little bit up the road, and then another guy comes to pick us up. And as we're hitchhiking with this other person, we see this other guy who is obviously French, and or like Quebecois French. And if you're Canadian, then you know what I mean. And no disrespect to the Quebecois, it's just they got their own thing going on, you know, and I respect that. They have their own identity. I'm just saying, you could tell he was French, like Quebecois French. So, and I love all people, right? So I'm like, okay, this guy's doing what we're doing, right? So it was really just, you know, we met up there. He had a bunch of beers on him, so we drank some beers. I had some weed on me, so we smoked some spliffs, drank some beers. We didn't really know how the hell we were getting to our next spot, but that didn't matter. You know, we were in the moment at that time. So then we get a ride from a guy who used to work as like the park rangers and stuff like that. And he has this really like the highways patrol, and he has this really he doesn't do it anymore, but because of that, he has this really big vehicle, right? And it has like it's like could fit like 4 people across. It was like custom fit for like him and his crew to like go to like wetlands and inspect the wetlands, whatever, right? Anyways, so moving forward, um, this guy drops us off at a place where he thinks that we would be good. And it's another hostel. It's called like Great Bear Hostel. And so we're out there. I think maybe Bear Lake Hostel, Bear Lake or something. And this is like a type of river where there's salt water and fresh water in it. So it's a very nice, soothing mix. And you can see the color differential. It was nice, right? So I'm out there, and we're making friends, and we're doing work there to like earn our keep because we stay there for free. And then I left to the other hostel, which was another hitchhike away. And when I got there, I said, hey, do you guys need mural work? You know what I mean? And funny enough, it was the same person that owned the other hostel. And he's like, hey, what's going on? I was like, yo, man, I'm here to see if, this hostel needs a mural. Not only did they need a mural, but they needed some like horseshoe pits and, some things done in the yard, some hacking down. And it was just really cool. Really great experience. We swam in the evening and ate food, and it was really good. So anyways, long story short, I'm making money out here. I'm gaining a name for myself. I'm like, holy crap, I don't know if I ever have to leave and go home, right? So I get the call saying that it's my mom's birthday, and they're throwing this huge thing for her, and it's going to be a boat cruise in the harbor of Toronto, and I gotta be there. I just better be there. And thinking to myself, oh my god. So I'm saying no, I can't do it. Like if I go back now, I think I'm just gonna add like a little seashell in here, something like maybe like a little rock. Maybe looking up here. Or should I put a rock? Let's see. And what color should the rock be? Maybe a darker rock. Maybe matching the rock over here. This rock pointing out of the sand. No. Maybe a couple rocks, a couple little pebbles. So anyways, I'll keep that mind chatter within. So anyways, right? So I'm like, no, I can't come back home. Like I'm making a real name for myself, and if I go home, it took a lot of courage to like leave. Who knows when the next time I'll hit the road again is, right? And I'll be on the road again. And so, like Sheik Luch says. And then so I'm just out there, and it's keeping me up at night. And I'm saying to the guys, I'm like, man, guys, what do you guys think? And then there's this girl out there, you know what I mean? And so I'm saying, like, what do you think I should do? Like, should I go home? And they're like, no, don't go home, man. Like, we're going to go see the rest of Canada, and then we're going to go to Mexico. You have to be there with us. And I was like, you know what? Well, if you're passing through Ontario again, why don't you just, you know what I want to do? Why would I paint in seashells when I have seashells? When I fully have why would I paint seashells I feel like Mr. Dress Up. I have feathers over here. I got seashells. I got everything here and there. Yeah. So, what time is it? 5? Okay. Yeah. Why would I paint seashells when I have seashells? You know what I mean? Go to your craft store, get some seashells. You know what I'm saying? So let me get some seashells that are gonna stand out against the rocks, right? So anyways, right? So I'm saying, like, I can't leave. My newly found German friends are saying, you can't leave. And I'm black and they're white, and they're like saying, like, no, like, hang out with us, be with us, you know what I mean? And it's crazy, the Black America thinks that, all white people are just racist and around the world, especially like Germans, you know what I mean? But did you know that Germans have classes called like reparations, where they go where they learn about the destructive things that Germany has done in its past, and it's not an elective course, and and they learn about the destructive things that have done, and that inspires people to go travel and make changes at different hostels and different groups. I haven't been to one hostel, I haven't traveled to one place, like even Jamaica, where I haven't met a German person. They're everywhere in the world, and they're really curious about other people's cultures. They feel really, really bad. I've spoken to a lot of Germans that are, my age and younger, not the old ones, the backwards one, but a lot of ones that are my age, saying, you know what, we hate that. We hate the fact that Hitler existed. That way, he was German. We hate that. Anyways, right? Long story short. Um, Long story short, these guys continue to travel on, and I check in on my mom's health, and they say it's declining, right? So that plus the birthday thing, I got some seashells here now. That plus the birthday thing, you know what I mean? I was like, you know what? Maybe I should go home, take care of my mom, make sure she's getting what she needs to get, and I'll just travel when I'm ready to travel again and whatever. But then I came home and I reconnected with an old love, and we had a baby together, and so I've been here ever since. You know what I mean? And 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 I've been watching over my mom's health ever since, and it's been getting worse because she's not listening to the things I'm suggesting. You know what I mean? She's so addicted to the dairy, so addicted to the dairy. Anyways, so I come home and to kind of look after my mom. I don't know if it was a scare tactic, but my siblings were saying, like, they're not looking so good, they're not doing so good. You got to come back and you got to start juicing for them again. So I'm there and I'm juicing for my mom again and my dad, and when everything's going okay, and the baby comes along, and then I go to Africa for 6 months with my 6-month-old baby. She's 1 year old by the time I get back. Um, you know what I mean? She got so much culture, so much sun, and I made a name for myself out in Africa. You know what I mean? Like in the short time that I was in Africa, I had designed an album cover for the most prolific poet in all of Malawi. Um, just young and doing his thing on stage. I got invited to a VIP in Africa. Um, it was like a big concert thing. You can find it online right now. I'll drop the link maybe sometime in the future. But it was just this whole big thing, and it's in Africa, some place where they make us think that, hey, there's nothing there to see. And so I'm there and I'm just taking it all in. Like, wow, Africa is just like here. They have even nicer things, right? Like nice restaurants, nice everything, right? Do I have a blade? Do I have a knife? Where's my knife? Where's my knife? So I come back here now, and I'm in Canada, and I got a little taste of the winter blues, you know what I mean? And now I'm kind of trying to figure out how I can get back out there, you know what I mean? Um, how I can get back out and conquer the world, you know what I mean? And I don't know. So I got these seashells here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna get some cement glue, and I'm gonna cement glue it down onto it, and I think I might even like cut it in half somehow with like some sort of saw, and or like sand it down, and then I can just use half of the shell so it's not quite coming out of the canvas so far, casting like a shadow, and also so that it's safer for transport. Like I don't want a shell getting knocked off, and so yeah, I think that'll be wise. So I'm just gonna save these seashells here and put them aside. I'll put them right here. And so yeah, no, that's the story of my travels and my return to home, the nest. So let's see what everybody's saying in the chat. What's going on? Krista, masterpiece. What if I put a small butt of sand texture on the sand color, and then add the shells to it. What I wanted to do was I did want to do that. I wanted to kind of get like a thick like a grainy textured um, paint to mimic the sand, but then I would lose the depth. Do you know what I mean, Krista? There would have to be a part. There would have to be a line at some point where the granules become so small that I can't see it and they kind of fade off. So if I started putting the sand from here down, it would look very flat. It would flatten the image. The only thing that I could have done to avoid that is by maybe cutting the sand off here and maybe tapering it off till it gets smooth. But honestly, at that point, I didn't know because I still have to draw the mom and the daughter walking on the sand. So, and as you know, it's hard to paint on sand, right? So that was my thought process. But it's nice to see that we had the same thought process. Um, Tchaikovsky, paint Jamaica Beach. Yeah, man, painting a nice, sweet Jamaica Beach. You know what I mean? Krista, I've traveled a lot, but never out of the country. Oh, you haven't traveled out of the country. Well, let me just say, you will definitely be delightedly surprised. You know, you're gonna go to places like Europe, and you're gonna see just how tight and dense people can live, yet so much going on, and there's so much freedom, you know, in Europe, and then you'll go to Africa maybe if that's your thing, or the Caribbean, and you'll just notice another level of freedom, and the people are just so incredibly nice, and the food is, you know what I mean. So I hope you get to get out there. Thanks for sharing all these experiences. Love your transparency; it's priceless. Thanks, She Ether. I appreciate you listening. I have many more stories like this to tell. I'll tell you that much. What about when I went all the way out west and I ended up managing a Lush cosmetics store within the 7 short months I was there, and getting arrested for uh, possession with the intent to traffic ×2, and then making my way out of it innocent, and because a key witness couldn't testify, and even though I was innocent, you know what I mean, and it was crazy what happened to me out there. But a very good experience that I will like to share because I'm definitely going to be doing this more. Nancy, you have more than you think. I bet if you set up again, you'll get your groove back. That's true. You're just going to get your groove back. I think traveling matured a person. Yes, it does. It does mature a person. Um, I think that it just kind of like Islanders and Jamaicans are my faves. Yeah. Well, you know what, y'all? I just tried to get a scam run on me by a Jamaican, my own people. And I'll talk about that right now. Um, yeah, traveling matures a person. It also like de-racifies a person. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how can you really be racist if you traveled and seen so many things? You know what I mean? And experienced so much of other people's culture, knowing that you wouldn't have that in your country without it. You know what I mean? A lot of people will have a crepe, but have you actually went to where crepes are made? You know, and have the person that doesn't speak your language smile as he gives you the crepe? Fucking, I'm drinking the Dasani water. I don't care. I got so much pasties. You see how they say here, remineralized water? Remineralized? That means that they have taken rock sediment and grinded it very thin and added it back in, you know, or like filtered it through like a sedimentary filter so that it picks up little like carbon traces and like sodium traces along the way, as if that those little pieces of rocks are gonna somehow contribute to your nutrition. When we're not lizards, we don't eat rocks, and lizards only eat rocks to break down the meat that they've just chewed up. Remember, carnivores. carnivores and omnivores don't have to chew a lot, right? Think of a shark. Think of a lion. Think of a crocodile. They rip, they tear back and forth, and then they throw it back. They throw it back. You know, crocodile, hop, hop, throw it back, throw it back. They don't get that tongue in the jaw action to move side to side and like move the food around. They're very like restricted in that way, right? And they have the snout so that they can bite into skin. We don't, right? Like we can't bite into like a giraffe skin. Like come here, giraffe, and eat. You can't do that, right? And when we chew, we break it down a lot. We don't have big throats. We like cough and choke easily, right? So we're complete herbivores, and so what a bird will do, or a crocodile will do, it'll actually pick up some rocks and it'll swallow the rocks. That way, when they take in a big piece of leg and they like swallow the leg flesh back, the rocks are grinding up and tenderizing the meat. Okay, because their stomach does convulsions, but without the rocks in there, it won't be able to grind up the meat so that they can poo it out. Oh God, I love animals. I love animals so much. Okay, so I think I wanted to do the footprints tonight, but I think I'm spent. My lower back is hurting, and ever since I brought up the fact that I smoked a joint earlier, I've been wanting to go out there and smoke the rest of it. So I'm gonna be out of here and say my goodbyes, and then come back at you guys again on Thursday. So today's Tuesday. Thursday, I got a green stream coming up. Make sure you're there for that, because that's going to be on detoxing and how we can detox. It's not going to be on what things to detox with, because you got your liver tea, you got your kidney tea, you got your detox pills and all these things. I want to, once again, break it down, keep it very basic, and say, look, this is all you need to do. And just the structure of your detox, what it should entail, and what you're aiming for, right? And so that's going to be on Thursday, and I want to go live. And you guys, you 26 people watching right now, get an exclusive look to what I'm doing. I'm going to be talking about pediarchy, okay? And I'll just give you a quick breakdown right now. A lot of times we're saying today, you know, we don't respect our women because we have a patriarchy. And if we had a matriarchy, we would venerate and respect the woman, and we wouldn't be able to hurt them, and we wouldn't be able to abuse them if we had a matriarchy at the pinnacle. Well, if we had children as that top thing, you know what I mean? The children is what we want to aspire to, because we know we're going to die and be reborn as children. So we're always aspiring to be kids. And you always hear adults saying, yeah, they keep me young at heart, and the kids, they keep me young, right? You always want, they say, chi ether, peace, much love, I love you. You have a beautiful energy. Thank you very much for that donation. I appreciate that. And that means a lot to me. Thanks. Bronx is cold. Toronto's cold. 5431 music. What's going on, yo? So, you know, what I realized is that if you put a male up there, then it's a man's world, and the woman have it hard. If you put a woman up there, then you have a woman up there, and the men are feeling like they're left out. And then we have what we have today. You know, we have a society where men feel slighted, where they're like, why did women get all the veneration? Why, when we're building these great structures, why do we always have to put a symbol of a woman? What about us? Which is fair. You know what I mean? What about both? You know, what about the man and the woman? Hey, Rambo Jambo, you're a true inspiration, bro. Thanks, man. Much love and respect to you. I could like leak tears right now. I have goosebumps on my skin because I've had the worst night I've had in a long time, and So, and anyways, so yeah, I didn't expect this. That you guys just like are just so like, I don't know, real with me and allowing me to be real with you. So thank you. I mean, I'm just doing here, and you guys, anyways. So thank you, Rambo Jambo. Thanks to everybody that donated. So why I think that we should have a pediarchy is for a simple reason, guys. It's a simple reason, and I want you to remember that I want you to remember that as a this is exclusive. I'm going to be coming out to everybody saying this. But the thing that knocks me off my feet, okay, and that floors me every time is we say matriarchy, patriarchy. We had a matriarchy, and the patriarchs got jealous and burned everything down. And now we have all religions that exclude the women and make them into whores and like they don't even exist. And then if we go to matriarchy, then we're just gonna, everything will be fine with the woman, right? But it's a patriarchy and it's a man's world. Well, how about this? If we have a pediarchy, then at the same time we're venerating the man and the woman in the form of the boy and the girl. If we and then we stop the pedophilia, because we're gonna be grown up in a society where it's like, yo, how could you touch the gods like that? Those are the gods. Those are the, you know what I mean? We put them on top of our building. How dare you touch them like that? How dare you disrespect a child like that or try to lie to them about the shape of anything? Don't you know that you're going to be a child again one day? And whatever you teach that child, they're just going to end up teaching you again. So if this is, once again, this is just exclusive and for us, and I have a lot of slides that I want to cover and go into deep about this, and I want to do this with Brother Sanchez because he can add a lot. But I feel, and I felt for a year now, that we need to move into a pediarchy, and I'm nervous about coming up with the idea because of how it sounds, the pedo thing, right? And I'm nervous about how that sounds, but I'm breaking it to you guys first because I've thought about it, and I said, you know what? The truth is in me, and I see a possible outlet. And let me just be real with it and come out. Because, yeah, pedophilia is my biggest concern too. And now that I have a daughter, I'm like, what am I gonna do? So if it's matri and patri, and the child is petty, PD, like you have like a pediatrician, you know what I mean? You have infant care, like maybe we can call it like an infantarchy, an infantarchy. What do you guys think about that? Because pediarchy, are you talking about feet, like your pedicures? Are you talking about getting pedicures all the time with your pediarchy? Or is it pedophiliarchy? You know what I mean? So what about not childrenarchy, not babyarchy, childarchy, infantarchy, infanticry, infanticry, infant, infanticry. How about let's call it that, infanticry, because you have to change the, you don't want it to be infantarchy. It's like two stresses, infantarchy. That's how we say things. So it's either infantarchy or in infant, like how they say infanticide, right? If you're murdering a bunch of infants, it's infanticide, not suicide. It's infanticide. So what about infantarchy? What about that, guys? Patriarchy would be different root words from no, Krista, this is what I mean. Patriarchy, man, a patriot, patron. Matriarchy, woman, matter, matron, and then mistress, and then there's pedo, which is pediatrician, pediatrics. You know what I mean? The the ped, the POED. That's the child. That's significance, the child. So if we can do if we can be grown-ups, pediarchy is better. It just sounds way better. But infant infanticry, infantarchy, infantarchy. Okay, okay. You feel me? Okay, cool. We're on the same page again. I love it. Okay, cool. So that's what I want to do, guys, because like you're gonna look at the statues, you're gonna look in the texts, and instead of the men and God was a man and God was a woman and feeling slighted, we're gonna say, the child, we don't have to give it a gender. We can say the child spirit inside, and when it comes to gender, right? We're including both. We're saying, look, children are the most important thing. So as long as you're a child, I don't care if you have long hair, short hair, X chromosomes, Y chromosomes, a penis or a vagina, you are a child and you will be treated better than anything else in society, even better than the old people. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we're like, we tend to the old people. Well, nowadays we're really getting away from that and treating them very horribly. But I think that we're still not placing enough emphasis on the children, like the children's diet. Like we spend so much time and energy worrying about our grandparents that are going to die, who have lived their life. And yeah, we don't want them to die, even though it's selfish. We don't want them to go on. They're in pain. We don't want them to go on. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Who knows? But the fact is that, like, what if we assigned children to the elderly? You know what I mean? And we had this thing where it's like these after school programs where it's like we take the children after school and they play with the grandparents in the grandparent shelters and the homes for like 2 hours every day. And we teach them things. And because you know how grandparents are, it's like, oh, she's such a doll, she can read so well. And they bring in little treats and they sneak them candy. I was on the bus and a white like Romanian lady, gives me $5 and she's like, for your baby, give her some chocolate. And I'm like, wow, like, this whole race thing is so one-sided and blown out of the water that, like, I don't, I think it exists when you want it to. I think that, like, obviously we all experience it, and there's places that you go where it's way more. But man, in America, it's like that's what it is. It's like race. You know what I mean? So anyway, so yeah, this old white lady, she gave me like $5 for my child. Another lady, I was standing in line, she gave me a $10 bill to get my daughter something. That's what I'm talking about. The older people, they just love and adore the little ones. And because I guess they both feel like they're being overlooked. Mommy, look, watch me, play with me. And then you have the older people, when are you gonna come visit me? You never call me anymore. You know what I mean? So they're on the same level. Think about it. Old people and young people, they wear diapers. They forget where they are. They wake up like, how the hell did I get here? They drool a lot. They don't have teeth. My Instagram name, She Ether, is, I just sent it. I had it sitting in my chat the whole time and I didn't send it. Is Classic Smith Art. So yeah, the old people in infantriarchy. And you know what? I'll give me some time. This is how I'm thinking of spelling it. Infantarchy. Infantarchy. Okay? Think about that. Infantarchy. Infantarchy. Look at that spelling, guys. Because the other way would be pedo. Pediarchy. This is how it would be spelled. Pediarchy. That's how it would be spelled, guys. Thanks. Thank you, Shogun, Dadan. I appreciate that. Yeah, gummy bears and candy is made from gelatin, guys. Even Pop-Tarts, man. I hadn't seen Pop-Tart in years. And I'm looking at a Pop-Tart in my in the pantry, and I'm like, wait a minute, could it be? Could it be? And I look, and it had gelatin for the gel inside, and I was like, shit, so close. But I know that there's vegan ones. I learned that the majority of candles made have actual pig fat in them. That was so disappointing. I didn't know that. I don't buy candles, but that's disappointing. I thought it was just wax, you know what I mean? Beeswax. But they always are diluting it. You see, you guys, what you have to understand is when one sector of the industry gets ousted, for example, the lipstick, okay? When everybody found out that there's animal products in the lipstick, you know much of an outrage there was? So now, now, um, that they don't put animal products in a lot of lipstick anymore. All of that extra animal product has to go somewhere, or else they won't make that profit. So they put it in things like your cereals and your chocolate bars, and here and there your chips, just to try to spurse it out. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, we have to change. We have to change what we think that we want and what we think that we need. That's very true. Um, Masterpiece. That's a great idea because my son is going to be my whole when he's born. Yes. So, okay. So I think you guys are on the same page. We really do need to get this pediarchy, infanticy that out there, because you know what? We got to start venerating the kids. And you know what? You know what I want to share? Um, Not candles. I meant candies. Oh, candies. Oh, okay, candies. Yeah, yeah. I didn't know that, but yeah, they still have to disperse that pig fat, and like in zigzag with the yellow gum. I hear that that's like animal fat. That's why I get that white gum, like the hemp stuff like that. So if we have if we have children at the front of our thought form, right, and we're thinking, everything that we do has to be for the kids. The education has to be for the kids. Um, that we can't lie to kids. Everything that we say to them, it just has to be real. We have to set them up for their future. We have to change the school system for the kids. But I think that we can really change this whole earth within one generation. And that's kind of my goal, is to make a big change before I leave. My dad told me once we were in a really bad fight, and I said, I want to help people. I want to go make a difference, because he said, why don't you get a job and work, and you go to school, why don't you apply it? And I said, I just want to help people. And he said, there's been greater men that you have tried and failed, so don't give it up. you know get your head back down to earth. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all these great men have tried and failed. Do you think you're going to do anything better? Those are the words that came out of his mouth. And I always promised myself that I would be a better dad than my dad, even though my dad is a great dad. He flies off the handle and he says things he doesn't mean. I always said to myself, you know what? I'm going to be better than that. And so far, it's working out, proving to be true. Um, but the reason why I brought that up is because I want to help people. You know what I mean? And so doing these live streams, if I can help people, I'm really touched. I get a lot of praise from you guys out there in the chat saying that you can help. So before I'm not going to listen to what he says. And before I do leave this earth, I do want to make a change, and I do want to leave it better. You know what I mean? Than I found it. And you know what? If we all could do that, then we all could just experience such a change so quick in this life. If we all made it like our mission to help people before we leave. Like, I want to open up orphanages wherever I go. Like, I know that for sure, that an orphanage, for me, it has to happen, and I have to be running it. I can't hire somebody and then in the news come out that the kids were abused. My wife has done some work for children in third world countries, and she handles it, and she's great. And that's my goal. And that's not my only goal, but to open up an orphanage, to open up, or at least classes to teach kids how to paint and draw, how to express themselves through dance and visuals and linguistics. You know what I mean? I love helping adults. You know what I mean? You have cancer, which is an adult disease. You come to me, I'm gonna help you out. But there's no drawing the line in the sand of compassion when it comes to children and animals. Children and animals to me is like, yeah, everything, everything. You know, I don't eat the animals. You know, like sometimes I feel like I would rather die before a cow. You know what I mean? Like if I'm really to think about it, right? Really honestly, right? A cow, a mother cow has four stomachs and she has four breasts. And you know, her children grow up to be so big and so heavy and they're so peaceful and they're so smart. And and they don't waste things, and you know they're not selfish or jealous, you know what I mean? And yeah, I'm a human, I can build things, I can paint things, you know what I mean? But like, how, what am I doing to contribute? Am I fertilizing? You know, when I eat, am I giving back? Every time the cow eats, it gives back. And yeah, and it's just such an innocent being. It has nothing to do with our taxes and wars and fake, you know, depression and manufactured materialism. It has nothing to do with that. And when we put it behind a steel cage, it has no idea how to unlock it. And that's why it's stuck in the farm. It's not saying, oh, yeah, they like it. They have a good life here. They like being here on this farm. Yeah, you think that they like that? You think that they like seeing their uncle or their mom go into the slaughter? Anyways, so they're so innocent to me that I have to defend that. Just like a mentally challenged person. If I ever saw a mentally challenged person being disrespected, oh, you don't know how fast I'm gonna get up out of my seat, push whoever is doing that, and say, "What the fuck is your problem, bro? Can't you fucking see that this person's mentally challenged?" I don't even care if I got belligerent and say, "Yo, he's retarded," and you're treating a retarded guy like, you know, I'd be so in it right then and there. And then after, I'd have to be like, "Yo, sorry for calling you retarded. I couldn't take a fully abled person taking advantage of you. He can walk through any door he pleases. He never has to ask anybody for help. He can trick other people like you, and he can manipulate people. You know, he's not blind. He can give them fake bills. He can trap somebody and take advantage of, you know what I mean? I'm not going to let him sit by and let someone do that to you. So why am I going to let someone sit by and do it to animals? You know, they have hooves. If they had thumbs, and if they could stand up for 2 seconds enough to let's unlock the mechanism and get out, you think that they would be in the farm? Anyways, yeah, but I know that I know that it's going to change because the compassion always wins, right? The train has already started. The compassion train has already started, and we are going more and more each day. There's more and more vegans, more and more vegetarians. So more and more companies opening up vegan products. So we're doing it. Yo, peace. I felt the same way. I got like that through becoming a vegetarian because before that, I didn't even trip on so many things. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like your heart, Yosef, your heart opens up when after you go vegetarian, and then the only step is vegan. After that, you say, you know what? I can't. I just have to go vegan now. I can't. What is this? I can't do this anymore. You're saying I can't put my money towards this anymore. And then you say, you know what? I, I'm gonna make a change. There's a point in your life where you say to yourself, you know what? I can either keep on doing this and having these feelings, or I can actually do something about it. And so I did something about it. And I put the burden on myself because you know what? I asked myself, what's more what's more troublesome? What's more hurtful? You know, what's more scary? Me not being able to eat a steak dinner or like a chicken sandwich, or an animal being caged up all their life, not knowing what the hell is going on, but seeing other animals on the other side of the fence, um, free, and wonder, why me? and watch other humans walk by its fence and say, please just let me out. Like, are you the human that's going to let me out today? Are you the human that's going to open up the back of this truck when nobody's watching and let me out of here so I can have a chance at life that the creator gave me and gave to all of us? And my heart drops when I think about those things. And you know what? I didn't think about those things before. And being a vegetarian definitely helped that. But I wouldn't have become a vegetarian if I didn't watch the movie Earthlings. The movie Earthlings changed my whole perspective on what I'm doing. You know, where my money goes, and who I affect with my actions. And how can I condone it? How can I condone eating that when I don't condone the treatment that they're being given? You know what I mean? If I don't agree with pigs' genitals being ripped off of their bodies with no anesthetics, like that would even help. You know what I mean? Like, come on, you're having your penis ripped off of you with the testicles at the same time, all at once in the farmer's arms, and you expect me to believe that some sort of sedation is going to help it? What about when they wake up? You know, we're not giving them pills. We have no right to take an animal's private parts away from it. What are we even doing? What are we even doing taking an animal's penis off of it? Yeah, Earthlings, the documentary Earthlings. Watch it if you guys haven't watched it. It'll change your whole life. Because you're going to notice, you can say, wait a minute, I've been really living unconsciously. And, you know, I want that leather jacket. And I want that leather package in my car. Or, you know, I want that brush with the leather handle. But you don't need it. You don't need the bag with the leather. And once you wake up to that, you can't go back. You can't. And if you can, then you're not conscious. And that's just how it is. Like, everybody in my chat right now wants to be vegan. You know what I mean? You guys want to do it. And that's noble. And at least you want to do it. That's better than the people that say outright, I could never do it. I'm never doing it. I love meat too much. You know what I mean? You're not even giving themselves a chance. And just completely turning a blind eye to the pain and suffering that their dollar is causing. Because I don't know if many people know this, but when a company does their analyst reports, they take into account for this quarter, how much did we sell this quarter? What was the demand? Oh, we had a 5% increase on our products and a 10% increase alone on our ice cream, on our dairy ice cream. Okay, so if there's a 10% increase on the dairy ice cream, I wonder if we can get that moved up to 15% next year, or at least 2% by next quarter. And then you ask why? Why would they do this? Because it's all about growth, right? A company who is labeled themselves as a business, their main driver is growth, right? Profit. I took a year of business post-secondary school, and just to know how to sell myself and how to take away my assets and just understand what's happening with my art, because artists aren't very good with money. And you know what? I just I realized that every time I pay $1 for this Tim Hortons bagel, or every time I pay $2 for this burger, every time I choose this hot dog, I am telling corporations that they have to supply more demand next year. Because remember, they want that balance sheet to go up. They want to show that you've acquired more customers, that you've opened more markets, that you're selling more turkey burgers. And so if they say that, okay, this year, this many people bought it, next year we have to have more people buying it. We have to send the message to us on an individual We have to send the message to these companies on an individual level. We have to say, look, I don't approve anymore. I thought I did, but I don't anymore. And my parents, they didn't have the internet, but guess what? I do. And I've seen horrors that I can't quite describe to you. You know what I mean? And I'm no longer wanting to be a part of it. And then that is when you just that is when you say to yourself, you know what? It doesn't matter anymore about how I feel. It doesn't matter if I go hungry because I fasted. I know how to fast. It doesn't matter if I'm driving all night and I can't stop anywhere because no fast food places are vegan. You know what I mean? All that stuff doesn't matter anymore. The only thing that matters is that you're not causing any harm with your dollar, with your hard-earned money. And that's basically it. Nothing else motivates me, not my health, because I'll still go to McDonald's. You know what I mean? I'm not some sort of superhuman being who has no cravings ever, and is not, going on 32 years old, with absolutely, no meat in my system, from when I was a child. You know what I mean? Like, get real. Like, I'm just like you guys, I'm going through my battles. It's the only thing is that I teach because I know how to get rid of that, and I'm doing that. I'm doing that good job, and I've taken it that deep before, and I am fully vegan. But if it comes to getting a vegan burger from A&W, you know what I mean, to subside my hunger or just to be included with everybody. Everybody's having their meals where, oh, I'll just get A&W and I'll just get the vegan burger. You know what I mean? To do that, to have that life, that is something that I chose because at first it was a selfish thing. I wanted to go vegan because I wanted quicker recovery time from the gym that I used to work out at, and work in at my college campus. I would say, you know what? I want the quicker gains. I want better health. I want better skin. And that really kept me on track. Like, no, I can't have that. I can only eat organic. I can only do this. But then I noticed, I was like, well, you know what? Like, I'm not going to stress myself out here. I know it's a gradual change. I'm going to gradually get to the point where I want to be, which I'm getting. But as long as I'm not hurting anybody on the way, that's the universal law. Cause no pain. Do unto others as they would have them done unto themselves. And if for anybody thinking that the golden rule is do unto others as you would have done unto you, that's not it, because that's selfish. You can just easily make up in your head, yeah, well, I love to be taken advantage of, and I love to be mentally messed with, you know what I mean, and cheated on, and I love to be left for broke at a casino, or you know what I mean. I love to tell people I'm selling them one thing and then never answer their ad again and take their money. You know what I mean? You can always manipulate that. But the golden rule really states treat others as they would have. The golden rule is this: do unto others as others would want have done unto them. As others would want to have done unto them. Do unto others as others would want to have done unto them. And that, once you think about the other person and what they would want, then you're taking yourself out of that kind of like that selfish seat, that selfish perspective, right? And you're giving a perspective like, well, I got to think about what they want. It can't be what I wouldn't want. Because I actually I don't mind that if somebody was to insult me. I wouldn't mind. I would just tell them to F off. You know what I mean? Not everybody's like you, though. Not everybody's as strong as that. Not everybody can just have the confidence to up and say, screw off. So we need to put others first, just like the animals, right? Eating the animals. It's not about what you want. It's not about how smart you are. It's not about how tall the buildings you can build. It's about would they want that? Does that chicken feel that pain? And if the chicken is running away from you, then I would say chances are, then yeah, the chicken can feel the pain. And not only that, but it has the intelligence to know that pain is coming. You know what I mean? It has the intelligence to know. We have to give it the chance to express it to us. Like, we're so quick to be like, no, it's dumb, we're smarter. It's like, okay, did you try to have a conversation with it? You know what I mean? And I don't mean a literal conversation like, hey, chicken, how you doing today? Come on. What I mean is, have you tried to watch it, study it, and see where it prefers to walk? You know, have you studied what time of day it's up at and what times that it likes to get up and do what things? You know, is it at the watering hole every day at a certain time? You know, is she always looking east for maybe a partner to return? You know, what's happening in its head? You know, if the chicken or the animal is always running away, then that just shows you that, you know, maybe they don't want to be eaten. And hunting is not a game, and it's not an excuse, you know, oh, this is my game, I caught this wild game. It's not a game. A game entails that there's two people, two teams that are fully aware that there's a game going on and that there's a winner and there's a loser. But the deer is always the loser because it's never been communicated to that, hey, there's a game being played and the prize is your life. Now put away the gun and go try to get that deer. Put away the gun and try to get that deer. Can't do it. You can't do it. You know, you're going to say, I could set a trap, but, you know, can you? Did the deer already smell you? Do you know how to hide your smell in the wild? Because I'll tell you, you go into the wild and it's the animals are going to win every time. And that's why I respect them also, is that they are so adapted to this place that oh shit. Fuck me. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh no. Sorry for my language, guys. Sorry for our language. Sorry. Ah. My sleeve dragged and hit the painting. Yeah, so the animals, man, they're just so adaptable to a place that we find so scary, obviously, right? Think about it, you know, it's wintertime right here in Canada, and there's like deer and like elk out there. They're out there, and they're naked. You know what I mean? And like there's sounds of the forest that they're putting up with. You know what I mean? And the babies are hearing these sounds, and they're scared, but they're not saying anything. They're not making a noise. They're not crying. The animals give birth, and the mom's not swearing and oh, you bastard, oh, it hurts, get away from me. They just lay down. They have their baby. They have their child, and it's beautiful. You know what I mean? And I can't blame a father for his wanting his wife to have a silent birth. You know what I mean? If you don't, you don't. You know, if you can't make it through the pain, you can't. But if you think about it in nature, it's a silent, quick affair, and there's no yelling and screaming. You know what I mean? The baby, you know, you gotta wonder, does it ever grow up thinking that, you know, it's caused you pain, remembering those violent screams? You know, for a lot of times, when a mother that comes from a functional family, the first time that baby really hears like a lot of yelling is when it's being born. Is that healthy? Is it healthy? I don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, I couldn't imagine something the size of a grapefruit coming out of my penis. No, I couldn't. No. Um, and so, but I still put the question out there, you know what I mean? Like, does it hurt women now because we're so far removed from our natural diet? A diet that keeps our skin elasticy, a diet um, that doesn't have calcium chunks in it of rock calcium from other animals, um, creating a friction and pain because the the calcium molecule is the largest molecule when it comes to our nutrition, our vitamins. So that that molecule, that calcium, is just scratching and scratching up when you pinch yourself. You know, you'll notice that when you go vegan, you can handle a little bit more pain. And people say, oh, now you're taking that too far. Like, what is this? Like, you get superpowers when you're vegan? Actually, there's that movie. Um, it was a Canadian movie, and it was about like it had Adam Sarah in it, and it was like uh, it was like he had to conquer her ex-boyfriends. Like he was like in a comic book kind of thing, and he had to conquer um, her past boyfriends, right? And one of the boyfriends was like a vegan, and they were like, "Oh, you didn't know? He's a vegan." And then like he shows off his like strength because like when you're a vegan, you get this strength out of nowhere, and you get this energy, but also and you get a clarity of mind. But also, what you also get is you get this kind of what was I saying? What was the first superpower that I said that you get? Yeah, you just get power. Better intuition. Animals like you more. The cloud on the left looks like a heart-shaped angel to you. The left heart-shaped angel. That's nice. Bob Ross, I watched him. Yeah, I watched Bob Ross too. I loved him. I loved him. I'm feeling that one cloud on the left. It's saying something. This one here. Much love. Yeah, I can give you guys a view of what's happening. What's happening in the art. So there's a lot more level changes once you get closer to the cloud. It's a lot more 3D than, you think. Get here. That's gonna have some leaves on it soon. There's some details happening. So just the life of a painter. Life of a starving artist. Trying to support the family. The water is so real. I feel like I'm on a real beast. Thanks. Me too. I miss that feeling. So, much respect to the chat. One love. Masterpiece. Great artwork. Thank you very much. Everything's gonna be alright now. Everything is gonna be alright. Each one teach one. So, Masterpiece, what do you think about the movie Circumcision? Yeah, go ahead. Ask your question. I saw it, and it was it's just crazy. Like cutting your kids off before they really know what it is, and then now just like really learning that like the circumcision never needed to happen in the first place. Growing up, making fun of kids who were uncircumcised, saying it's dirty, and just hearing from medical professionals that it's a lie and that around the world they don't do. I didn't know that around the world it wasn't as common. I thought it was like a modern hygienic thing. I thought every hospital did it. I thought it was just the thing to do. And I guess most parents do in North America. And the fact that we don't travel enough, that really just shows, you know what I mean? Like we do not get out there enough and really see what's going on. You know, we kind of take everything for granted. Like we have everything here, but we don't. So to take a child's, you know, private piece of the private part, and since there's no real, you know, there's no like sanctioned amount of penis to take off. It's just like, well, one doctor says like, you know, oh, I like the penis like this. I like the look like this. Or if you have a woman that's doing it, they're like, oh, well, I like penises that look like this, so I'm going to give him a nice one that looks like that. Or if you get a racist doctor say, oh, damn, black guy, like, take my daughter and turn her out, and now all she dates is black guys. I'm gonna make your penis look like this and have it curve to the left. You know what I'm saying? Like you never, because there's no amount of penis to be cut off that says, you know, for a safe circumcision, this is how much penis to cut off. Because there isn't that, now I'm thinking like what the hell is any of it taken off for? Why don't we just let the child decide if that's something that they want? But then again, it's like, why would it ever be something that you want? You know what I mean? Like here I am, circumcised, comfortable with my penis. I love it. It's, you know, it works good. That's what I've been told. You know what I mean? Like no problems there. But I'm simply saying, like, if I had a choice, so like, what would I have chose? You know, like I do research. You know what I mean? Like my parents, they never did. I do research, and would I have found something different? And you know, at 21, would I have said, you know what? My conclusion leads me to believe that I don't want my foreskin. I want to get circumcised. That's my decision. Well, then that's the decision. And then what if um you know, like if I'm 21 and there is no evidence that says that the circumcision is needed, well, it's still my choice to do it anyway because I'm an adult at that time, you know. I but I haven't. I've been robbed of that ability to choose, I guess, for myself. Is all I'm saying, you know. And the parents, you know, you can't get mad at them because realistically and truly, they just want what's best for you, obviously, right? You can't get mad at them. Obviously, they were just doing what the doctor said was right, and what their husband had, and what their husband's husband, what their dad had. You typically, you know, want the penis that you grew up like looking at, you know, as a child. You know what I mean? It's just in your subconscious, and boys end up, you know, marrying their mothers. You know what I mean? And women end up choosing their fathers. You know what I mean? So. Um, so sitting in the sand, listen to the waves. Yeah, it's nice, man. It's nice reality. Yeah, it depends on your perspective. You know what I mean? It does, and that's what I love about art. It's just like you get everybody gets a little different take on it, and I love that. Yeah, Krista, the foreskin is like equivalent of the clitoris. There's a certain parts that can really, really stimulate you, like the clitoris. So yeah. Um, Yeah, and you know what? It's sad. Like, what if you're a girl and you got your clitoris taken away as a baby, and you're like, wow, you know, what would it feel? What would sex feel like if I had that clitoris? You know what I mean? What would sex feel like if, you know, we had the? I don't know. All right, guys. Well, I'm pretty happy with the way that this turned out, and so for the last time, I promise, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm wrapping it up right now. I'm not painting anything else. I'm gonna let you guys get back to your days and nights, and we'll take it from there. And we'll see you guys around the way. I really want to say that I really appreciate you guys being there for me. It's been a tough night, as I said. All the super chat donations, basically giving me the motivation, to just continue what I'm doing here and not to hide my art and myself. To just open up to you guys. I've really made a connection with you guys tonight. I should look at you guys. I really made a connection tonight with you guys, and I really feel like, I don't know, I feel like another level. It just went up to another level. You know what I mean? And so, thank you guys truly, and peace, power, and protection to all of you guys. And 5431 music, thank you. Yeah, it's been really fun. Okay, all right, guys. Well, like I said, I'm happy with where the art's turning out, so I'm just gonna kind of leave it there. And if any of you guys have any questions, or if you guys want any art, obviously just hit me up. You can go to my peace fam. You can go to my Instagram, Classic Smith Art. I know Yosef L is already connected. And check out my art. Send me a DM. Let me know that you want a piece of artwork. Anything from flat earth to animals to something spiritual or abstract. I like to do a lot of abstracts. Indeed. Now where are my abstract arts? I can do a little, show you guys something. So I got like this one. This one's a little crazy, It's excitation, and it's just really energetic. And as you pass by it in your halls, you just feel very, enthused about it. Lots of texture, lots of paint used, very thick, but lots of textures going on there. So I like that. That's one of them. And another one, and I'll let you guys know right after this. This is another one. I really, really like this one. To me, it just is very calming. For some reason, I don't know. There's a lot of depth, and I feel okay about it. You know what I mean? I feel like, there's geometrics, there's organic shapes. So I like all of that. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, I very much like doing abstracts as well. You know what I mean? I got this beautiful, beautiful one that I just love so much. This is like so royal to me. You know what I mean? It's like so I don't know, amazing. I had this in my bathroom for a while, on the downstairs level bathroom. I had it in the dining room for a while. I just love any space that it's in. It's really nice. I have this here. This is like a kind of like a double piece. It's like two faces kind of going together, and well, actually, it's two faces this way, going together this way, but when you put it back to back, then it's two cosmic faces sharing their mind, right? Sharing the mind, the cosmic mind. And of course, it's a rainbow because it's all colors, you know what I mean? And it's male and female, the duality. And you get that negative space, you know what I mean? So I've hung that up and it looks really, really nice, and I like it a lot. So, yeah, these ones are cheap though, right? Like, these ones are done quick. These ones are very inexpensive, you know what I mean? If you guys would like prices on these ones, I could let you know the prices, because nobody's spoken for them. I haven't advertised them anywhere before, to tell you the truth. That's the first time you guys are seeing them, right? So, yeah, man, I just like, how much for those, Yosef L? For those two back to back, I can let that go for 100 each, so like 200 for $200. That's really cheap by my standards. So, but yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, yeah, I can do portraiture and all that stuff like that. I do that. 5 4 3 2 1 music. Thanks, man. Yeah, you seen me around. Yeah, I've been on Bro Sanchez's streams. That's how most people knew that I was an artist. Yeah, now you guys know why my name is Masterpiece. Like that's why my name is Masterpiece. I make masterpieces, but also I've mastered my piece, like my inner piece, by making masterpieces. You know, I get really fed up, and I used to come down here and get drunk, and go to my canvas all drunk, and just be in a really bad dark space, right? But you know that's gone away, and you guys are definitely giving me the confidence to do this, and you guys are offering money for it. You know what I mean? Like you guys are saying I'm interested. How much? Even that alone is just like wow. Like you guys are interested in knowing how much my art is. Like you got to understand that I grew up in the same era that you guys did, and painting is something that like Da Vinci did, Michelangelo did. Nobody buys paintings anymore. You know what I mean? Everybody's doing the computer stuff, and I'm keeping it real with the analog. And you know, mostly the only people that can really afford that is the old rich people. So to see that, you know, a young crowd like you guys um, are into the painting and are even willing to ask how much things are, wow, it's touching, and it just shows me that like, hey, maybe there is hope. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, it's a double meaning. Uh, Masterpiece. Krista, tell me about it. It has a double humor meaning for me, but never mind that. What are you talking about? All about the peaceness. Tell me, let me know. Um, yeah, Yosef Albay, get at me. For people that don't know, Masterpiece is the realest I know. I've told him that 2 years ago. He never changed up. Yo, much love and respect. And you know what? I'm always gonna be me, and this is who I am. And the only kind of change I want to do is just for the bettering the planet, bettering people around me. BV, Masterpiece, I want to ask you, what would you say is the first step to escaping from the machine in terms of not slaving away someone else's profit, getting out, but still living life, having a life? Well, let me tell you, here, there's a video that I did. It's called Staying Strong in the Matrix, and I will put it in the chat right now. Here you go. Staying Strong in the Matrix. And that just basically gives you some information about like how to realize that, you know, this is the Matrix and there's options to get out. And let's see. There is, and then this one that I did, how to break away from the system. And it says step-by-step suggestions. So let me put that in here. That's how to get it. What the links that I put right there is how to just get away from the system that we've built up, if that's what you want to do. Okay, so BV, that's for you. Special for you. Special delivery. Stuff. Oh, 5 4 3 2 1 music. You know that Staying Strong in the Matrix. You know that video? That's good. Krista, you're a retired dancer of 7.5 years. I made damn good for those who I paid to take care of me in the environment. I had the badass to get through, hence straight masterpiece. Oh, okay, I see. Straight masterpiece. I like that. That's another meaning, and that's definitely very personal. Yeah, definitely hit the like. Definitely hit the like button. Please share this if you guys know anybody else that's into this kind of stuff that you guys are into. And yeah, like I said, I'm happy with this, where I'm going, where it's been. Next time I do this, I'm gonna I'm gonna have some footprints here. Maybe some of them are washed away. So maybe I'll draw like a one in the dryness right here. And maybe I'll draw some wet ones here that have been taken away. And then we'll have them continuing up here. And or maybe I could start the footprints here as if they've already been washed away. What I wanted to do is I wanted to make like a darker part of the beach right here and have it very reflective. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, so much love to you guys. I love you guys all. BV, go check out that Matrix video. And I'm always good. I'm always bad at goodbyes because I love you guys so much. But thanks for everybody who sent in those super chats. Without you, I don't even know where I'd be. So thanks for tuning in tonight and making my night that much better. Much love and respect, guys. Peace. Keep drawing. Email me. Please email me. I would love to hear from you guys. I really would. I love chatting with you guys. Email me. Hit me up on my Instagram at Classic Smith Art. And yeah, the footprints are going to be great. All right, guys. Peace, power, and protection. And like I always say, hey, eat to live. One. And I will email you back, Krista. All right. Peace, guys.